to the Mike Rutherford Show, presented by United Mechanical, your trusted partner for commercial and industrial HVAC, electrical, plumbing, and refrigeration. Call United Mechanical at 502-339-1133.
All right. Welcome, everybody. It is Thursday, November 6th. This is the Mike Rutherford Show, presented by United Mechanical and Nexus Plus. We're coming to you live from the world-famous University of Louisville College of Business Studios here in the heart of game day ready, and also a little bit rumor nervous, Louisville, Kentucky. Cards fans, if you're looking for a competitive advantage in today's data-driven world, earn your master's in business analytics from the University of Louisville, which you can now accomplish in just 12 months. There's no previous coding experience required. You can delve into the world of analytics and data visualization, learning essential tools like R, Python, Power BI, and, of course, machine learning, as well as more. These classes are now available both online or in person. To get started or to learn more, visit business.louisville.edu today. We're on the air from 2:32 until 5:30 here on 1450 AM, 96.1 FM, streaming across the land, including on YouTube, airing live on WBNA Channel 21. You know us better as the Big X. It's Mike Rutherford. It's Roman Kelly. It's a Thursday edition of the show. Game Day Radio is back once again. We're excited about that. We'll talk Louisville, Jackson State. We'll talk a little Jeff Brom rumors that are now percolating throughout the city. We'll talk about that. We've got Roman Kelly producing the absolute hell out of the show, as always. We've also got podcast legend Danny Sennard, who's in town today. He'll pop in for the last 2 hours of today's show from 3:30 to 5:30, share some expertise. He'll try not to cuss on the air. We'll cross our fingers and hope for the best there. But lots to get to over the next 3 hours, including text from you guys on the Game Day Men's Health text line. 502-414-1450 is the number to weigh in there. Questions, comments, concerns, predictions, whatever you got, we will take it today. Before we get to anything, though, we say hi to our guy, Romy Bean. That's the name on Twitter. Give him a follow there. Roman Kelly's the full name. Roman, how are you, buddy?
Doing great, Mike. I'm really tired. Had a long PT session after staying up way too late talking in Laker Twitter spaces last night.
Got the win.
Another win. 7-2. Feels good. JJ up. Redick. Way too early coach of the year right now. The season ended today, I think. Which
there it is.
Not saying a whole lot, obviously. Only playing 9 games. But feels good to get a win against a team that's been performing like the Spurs. Granted, Wemby, 2 off games in a row kind of now. But that was awesome. Getting some followers last night. Trying to expand the NBA and Laker aspect of my social media as well. So that was cool. When you have a win like that and they let you talk in the spaces, you can make things happen. But I stayed up too late, and I working out this morning, so now I'm a little bit tired, but I'm feeling good. I'm excited for the game tonight, excited to watch. I think I applied for the media credential for this game just a little too late. I don't think Dana replied to me. So I might miss this one, might be on the TV watching with the girlfriend, which is always fine because I like listening to the broadcast anyway. But other than that, I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing well. We're still Mary's still doing the surgery recovery, which means I'm kind of handling the kiddos a little bit, getting them ready for school. Although John, no school today, which helped a little bit. We haven't gotten her a bell yet, but she's kind of doing she's got the bell attitude right now going. Like, you bring me this, bring me that. I'm just joking. I'm like 25% joking. But she's still pretty immobile. I think she gets to take the bandages off today and see the leg, which could be gross. Could be gross, but she gets to shower. She gets to do all that good stuff. So we're making progress on that front. We got kid stuff happening. Virginia's got her cheerleading banquet tonight, so I'm scrambling around to get home so they can go to that and then get ready for the game at 7. We're doing well, though. We're excited. College basketball stuff is in full swing. It's a crazy time for work, but wouldn't have it any other way. Good things to talk about, mostly. Cards taking on Jackson State tonight. 7 o'clock, that'll be a little bit, this helps you. Not another late night tip-off, not another game that's going to end at 11:45. That'll be good for those of us looking to get to bed a little bit earlier than we did Monday night.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk a little. We haven't really gotten too much into the Cal game, even though we're nearing the 48-hour mark away from kickoff. We'll talk more about the Bears today, what that game represents, the challenges that they present. We've not got, let's kick this off before we get into anything that we're going to start with. I was thinking about this last night. We haven't gotten a confidence level from one Roman Kelly. Louisville, Cal, Saturday night. Cards are, looks like about a 19.5, 20-point favorite, depending on where you look at the moment. But the most important alert level, the most important number, is Roman Kelly's confidence level. Scale of 1 to 10, 1, no chance Louisville wins, 10, no chance Louisville loses. Where are you right now going into this game?
I'm at a 9, Mike.
Yeah, it's too high.
It's not, Mike. Listen, we're going up against Jaron Sagapatelli, freshman quarterback with nearly more interceptions thrown than touchdowns this season. Granted, he's got an arm on him. He's willing to get that ball downfield, but quarterbacks prone to that this season have been prone to giving it to us as well. That is kind of where I'm at here. The defense is going to be, I believe, set up to have a very big day. I think we should be able to stop the run game for the most part as well. I don't think this is all that good of an offensive line, Mike. Not a bad one, but not really a good one either. And with them having to travel, you don't want these cards.
I like that. That was well done. That was smooth. Well done there.
Probably won't go up much, but
yeah.
That's where I'm at. I'm very, very confident about Louisville and their ability to get the job done this Saturday on their home field.
I am horrified.
We're due for another.
I'm horrified, bro. I'm terrified of this game.
Chris Bell's ready to cut up again, Mike. He's due. He didn't like the 56-yard performance.
He was banged up last week. He was hurt all week. He's been hurt the last 2 games.
He's trying to make sure he stays up there on these draft boards.
He is.
Colin Lacey back-to-back receiving touchdowns. He's going for a 3rd one this week.
Got a couple notes on both those guys. First, Colin Lacey, congratulations to him. Horning Award finalist, which goes to the most versatile player in all of college football. He's obviously one of the best return men in the game, both on punts. Not a lot of opportunities in kickoffs because that's the nature of college football these days, but clearly a big part of the offense in the receiving game. Has also done a little bit of running back stuff, so good for him to be a finalist for that award. And then with Chris Bell, The Athletic today, Nick Baumgardner runs their NFL draft coverage. He came out with his latest mock draft for the 2026 NFL draft. Chris Bell, 18th overall pick now, going to the Cleveland Browns. A fate worse than death for any wide receiver, but still, number 18 overall. Who was saying that going into this year, Roman?
Not many.
Pretty impressive. Let's start with what I think has become the topic of the day. I heard you guys talking a little bit about this on Running with Roman, and that is the fact that we have Penn State moving trucks in town. They have Penn State football written on the side. So this came up. I didn't see the tweet until recently, but it was at Wheel06, who goes by Tailgate Champion on Twitter. And he had a handful of pictures of what appears to be a large moving truck that has Penn State football on the sides and Penn State on the back, and took pictures of it in the Shakes Run area of Louisville and said, you know, what's up with this? The last update that I gave you guys on the Jeff Brom front, I believe it came last Friday, and this is the last update that I got, which was basically, look, Florida and Penn State, they're both going after Jeff. They're making no bones about it. Penn State in particular is going pretty hard after Jeff. The understanding is that he'll stay, but it's going to take a raise. Like, we're going to have to get him to around 8.5 a year. And that was the last that I'd heard. At least on like the stay or go front. The most recent thing that I heard on the overall front was that Penn State's willing to up the ante. So it's concerning to see this going on out there. We have now all sorts of rumors about this truck that are going around, which this is classic coaching carousel stuff. Some digging led folks to realize, and I posted the same thing, this is the exact same truck that moved James Franklin from Nashville to College Station, whatever that was, in 2017. Exact same truck. You can see the pictures out there. They're like, it's moving day for the Franklin family, and you've got that picture. It's a moving company that is based in Pennsylvania, but it also is the exact same truck that moved the last head coach who took the Penn State job from his home. The trailer is not, according to folks on their message boards, devoted specifically to Penn State. but it's the one that the moving company uses when they haul Penn State gear. So this could be as simple as like a Penn State person moving, or like a Pennsylvania native moving. Okay, I'm sorry. Somebody just said, and props to this person. I don't know if you want to be named. They reached out to the moving company. There's one of those automated, send your question here and someone will get right with you. And someone hit up the chat bot for Barrett Unlimited Incorporated, which is the moving company, and just sent a picture and said, why is this truck in Louisville, Kentucky? And a human who took over the chat for Barrett Unlimited said, we moved somebody to Louisville. So is that good enough? Does that put to bed the rumors here? Does that make you feel more at ease?
A little bit. I still think there's $12 million cash in the truck.
I don't like what's happening. I also don't like that the people that I reached out to in hopes to nip this thing in the bud have kind of left me on red ever since now it's been like 2 hours, so maybe they're doing stuff. But not one of the people who I'm like, hey, can you tell me that this is nothing to be worried about? Not one of them have gotten back and been like, no. Now maybe they don't want me saying that because we're in contract negotiations, I assume. Jeff he's holding the cards right now. He's feeling good, but it makes me nervous, the fact that this is happening.
I don't like it.
Now, he doesn't, I don't want to give away where Jeff lives, although I think you can find. He doesn't live in the area where the tweets were initially coming from, where the truck was initially spotted, which is Shake's Run. That's not where he lives. He's not overly far, but nothing in the city is that far from anything else. So I believe that this is all signs are pointing to somebody moved from the Pennsylvania area and utilized this moving company that has this truck that just so happens to also move head coaches from time to time when they move to Penn State. And that's what happened here, which is a horrible timing for all that's going on around here. But I still, there's definitely a part of me that is uneasy about this. I'm taking my confidence level that Jeff Brom's the head coach at Louisville. I'm taking the meter. It was at like a 98 this time a week ago. I'm down to like a 90%. I still feel very good about it. But this makes me a little bit nervous.
90%?
90%.
It's awfully low.
Low as in like not confident enough?
Yes.
It's a 9 out of 10 chance that he's still the coach here.
Too low.
It leaves 10% chance that Penn State is like, we're going to give you $35 million a year to come coach our football program, and there's just no way that he can say no. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
By the way, there's a Navy football truck that's also it's right now at the football stadium. I have no idea why.
People are out of town.
People are sending me that picture as well. Are they coming after Ron English? Is this finally the big dog's shot at a head coaching job? Big dog loves the armed forces. What's happening in this city, Roman?
Crazy stuff going on.
I'm sorry, I got to respond to this guy real quickly. I love the guy that took this to the company himself. This makes me, this is the thing that makes me feel the most at ease. All right, now I've got a text message from somebody. Okay, now I feel, okay, I just got a text, Roman. We're going from 90% to 93%.
You got a 3% text.
I got a 3% bump text.
What? Can you read it?
I can't say, but it's just.
Can you give a hint on what the contents were?
They don't think that this is anything to be worried about.
Okay.
And also noting that Jeff is not even really close to that area. Okay. All right. 93%. We're feeling okay. 93%. All right. Sorry. It's hard not to follow this in real time. I feel like this is the Karan Davis saga all over again, where stuff is just happening. Speaking of Karan Davis, did you see him last night?
No. I thought we were going to bring it. I thought he'd eventually get brought up yesterday somehow.
Not Corin Johnson.
Oh.
Karan Davis.
Yes. No, yeah. Karan Davis, who Didn't play here, but said he was wanting to.
Well, I mean, he did play here. He just was the subject of rumors and then got kicked off the team and then refused to leave, which was one of the greatest shows we've ever had. Was the U of L puts out a statement saying Karan Davis is transferring and has asked for his release. Karan Davis then immediately tweeting out, like, no, I don't want to go anywhere. I didn't say this. And then U of L basically being like, okay, well, he got kicked off the team.
And then staying for the entirety of the season.
And attending home games. He went to more home games than 95% of our listeners that year of the Kenny Payne era. So I didn't realize, I knew he went to Louisiana. And then also left that team after 7 games last year. And they had their head coach fired. Karan Davis, kind of an angel of death in college basketball. I didn't realize, so he ended up at Alabama A&M. And they were playing against Indiana last night. He scored 8 points in their first game against I think, like D3 school. And then they played IU last night. They got pummeled. But he played 25 minutes. He scored 7 points. He had 9 rebounds. He was one of their better performers. But Robbie Hummel, who's like the next big thing in college basketball media, I think, they're setting him up to be the next wave of great college basketball announcers, because you got Raftery getting up there. Obviously, Dick Vitale is getting up there. Even like Jay Billis is getting a little bit late in the game. So Robbie Hummel, who played at Purdue, is from Indiana. He sees that Karan Davis is from Gary, Indiana. And so he happens to spot him in the team hotel and goes up and is like, I'm going to chat it up with him. He's like, hey, man, I'm Robbie Hummel. And, realize you're from Indiana. They kind of talk back and forth about Indiana high school basketball and all this stuff. And he's like, it's good to meet you. And Karan's like, good to meet you too, man. Are you the referee for tonight? Which is, I mean, Hummel, first of all, like, I get maybe not knowing that Robbie Hummel's a recent like college basketball great in the state of Indiana, who was a fantastic 4-year player at Purdue, because he graduated 14 years ago or so at this point. It's been a while for a guy like Karan Davis, but he's still like 6'10". Why are you thinking that a 6'10" guy who's chatting you up about basketball and play is the referee? But they kept bringing it up throughout the broadcast. I think Karan Davis is the most fascinating guy in college basketball. I'm no longer joking about wanting to do a Karan Chronicles podcast. I think he needs like a 72-part podcast where every episode is like an hour, focusing on one chapter of his college basketball story. You've got nothing to say.
I can't believe he thought he was a referee.
Yeah, the whole clip is fantastic. You can find it out there on Twitter. It was pretty wonderful. Okay, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep track of a lot of stuff happening right now. Louisville-Jackson State tonight. Cards looking to go 2-0. It's the final tune-up before the Kentucky game. It still feels incredibly bizarre to say. Roman, do I dare ask you a confidence level about the Jackson State game?
Don't ask.
Just say 9.9.
Just don't even ask.
Just say 9.9. Just say 9 points. That's all you have to do.
10 out of 10.
Oh, my God, he did it again.
Absolutely no way we lose this game tonight. You saw what Illinois did to them. It may be worse what we do. I think we're better offensively and defensively than them. So, unfortunately, Mike, I had to.
I don't like that. I don't like it. But I see why your confidence level is high. Louisville is actually a bigger favorite in this game than they were against South Carolina State. 38.5.
Which is weird.
Is the line. But I think, we went up in the computer rankings based on the way that we played in the first game.
And they went down.
I think they went a little bit down. They're still ranked higher than South Carolina State, but we are now.
By a wide margin, right?
Yeah. When you beat somebody by 60 like we did, you go up. Our offense is now higher ranked than it was. Our defense is also higher ranked. We're up to 11 on Ken Palm. He's got this game as a 38-point game, so it's no shock to see the line right around there. Now, one thing to look out for tonight. I don't even know if you're aware of this, Roman, but Jackson State's head coach is Mo Williams, former NBA player.
I was aware of this.
Did you see what he wore?
Yes.
To their season opener against Illinois?
That was like 2 or 3 years into your relationship and you're going like ice skating with your girlfriend kind of an outfit.
For those of you who haven't seen it, I can't remember what it was, a college basketball account that tweeted this out where they're like, we're not saying we need to bring suits back, but like this outfit by Mo Williams, maybe pushing it a little bit. He's wearing like an athleisure hoodie underneath a full-on jean jacket with the hoodie like hanging out the outside of it.
With a beanie on.
He's got the beanie on, and he's got the sleeves are unbuttoned, showing off the watch and showing off the undershirt sleeves and all this stuff. The whole thing it's quite the look. And now I'm wondering, this is his 4th year as a head coach at Jackson State. I'm wondering if he starts showing off a little bit. I wonder if this is going to be a thing. I'm fascinated to see what he wears tonight. It's one of my biggest interests in tonight's game. But this is Mo Williams' 4th year as the head coach at Jackson State. If you're wondering, why the hell is Mo Williams at Jackson State? He was born in Jackson, Mississippi, grew up in the area, played his high school basketball there, lived his whole life there before playing college basketball at Alabama, and then obviously having, I think, like a 17-year NBA career. He was the coach at, I think, Alabama A&M 4 years ago, and then got the job at Jackson State, came back home. He's actually got 2 kids on the bench with him this season. Kadarius, one of his sons, is an assistant coach, and then Mike is one of the more highly touted recruits to ever go to Jackson State. They kind of, as you might guess, in their game notes, they overstate a little bit his prowess. He's a good recruit for them, but it's not like he's this 5-star recruit. He played in their first game, 6'2" freshman, 176 pounds, scored 9 points against Illinois. Fine player, but it is cool that he's playing for his dad.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's really cool.
Yeah, this will be.
He's got his other son on the coaching staff.
His other son's on the Kadarius is a assistant coach. So yeah, 2 of his kids on the bench with him. Kind of a cool thing. This is, I think, and look, I'm not going to try to be like, oh, this game should be close. They lost 113-55 against Illinois, who I do think is going to be very good. This is probably statistically the 3rd worst team we're going to play this year. They're not very good. They're down there in the low 200s on Ken Pom. But it's another team that I think will be very competitive in their own conference. Like South Carolina State, they played in their conference tournament championship game last year, came 1 win away from making the NCAA tournament. The biggest difference, unlike South Carolina State, they did return a solid nucleus from that team a year ago. They got back 3 starters. They got back their best player, who is, once again, we're facing a preseason conference player of the year. This time it's not somebody who averaged, whatever the kid from South Carolina State did, 4.9 points per game the year before. This time it's a legitimately high-scoring guard, Deshaun Ruffin, who started his career at Ole Miss and actually he started and averaged double figures for Ole Miss as a freshman, and then as a sophomore had some injuries that kept him out of the lineup. He only played in 7 or 8 games, and then when Kermit Davis got fired, he entered the transfer portal before Chris Beard got there, ended up at Jackson State, was their best player last season, averaged about 16 points a game. He's back, 5'10" senior. He will shoot the ball a ton. Good player. Dory McMillan and Jamie Mitchell also returned from last year's team where they were starters, and then they've got a couple of reserves that were key players. So they've got more continuity than South Carolina State did, which lost virtually everybody and had to bring in like 10 players from the portal. They also, and we mentioned this yesterday, have Devin Ree, a former Cardinal who led them in scoring against Illinois. He had 19 points, was 4 of 8 from 3. He should be their best outside shooter this season. For those who've either repressed the memory or just don't remember it, Devin Ree was the first high school player to sign with Kenny Payne. He was on Payne's first team. He barely played at all. He then went to Louisiana Tech, played decent amount of minutes, but put up modest numbers, 4 or 5 points per game in both seasons. And now he's here wrapping up his college career at Jackson State. Somebody did send me, I guess, a DM with Devin Ree. He posted a picture, I guess, last night when they got in town of the Yum Center and getting ready for the game and all that stuff. And somebody was like, "Hey, glad to have you back. Sorry things didn't work out. L1C4." And he responded with like, "Go Cards, L1C4," which is cool.
That's really cool.
It's not Corin Johnson throwing the L's down and all this stuff. So props to him. We've got no reason to boo Devin Ree or hate Devin Ree. He felt it worse than we did, what was going on there. He got to experience it firsthand and did not get a good taste of Louisville while he was here. Hopefully he'll have a better experience tonight while also still not winning the game. But he'll start for them. He's tall, got an outside shot. We'll have to guard him well. this Jackson State team, I'm not going to sell you on their talent level. It is a little bit better than South Carolina State. The biggest thing for me is they'll be a little bit more together and organized than South Carolina State was, just because you do have guys that have played together for the last few years. Mo Williams has done a good job there. They've won consistently 16, 17, 18 games in his 3 seasons. So I don't think that we'll run out to a 24-2 lead, but this should be nothing more than another tune-up for the Kentucky game. Bench guys should get a lot of minutes. We shouldn't have to expend a ton of energy. I think we'll play really hard, but we should win this game by a relatively healthy margin. We'll talk a little bit more about this game, and more particularly about Louisville coming up after the break. We'll discuss some other things that are going on, and we'll look at you guys on the Game Day Men's Health text line coming up after the break. 502-414-1450 is the number there. Reminder, Danny Sennard also in studio coming up in about half an hour. That'll be a lot of fun. Football nuggets as well coming up after the break, so keep it locked right here. It's the Mike Rutherford Show, presented by United Mechanical and Nexus Plus, 1450 and 96.1, Big X Sports Radio.
I remember hitting them all with a
Clock hour here at the Mike Rutherford Show, presented by United Mechanical, 1450, 96.1, Big X Sports Radio. We've talked about the era of Louisville football where we had a bunch of team-specific rap songs created by local artists. And, Are You Ready? Are You Ready Part 2? Liberty Bowl Anthem, Rollin' to the Liberty Bowl. We For My Cards. We had some bangers back in the day. There's a lost one, and I don't know if anybody has access to this, but some local group, it may have been the famed Get Down Click. When we went to the Orange Bowl in 2006, they created a Orange Bowl song, sampling that song. And it was basically it was like cards fly high, no lie, we Orange Bowlin', and it was a banger. It was fan. Like we listened to it on the way down to Miami, and I've not heard of it since. I have no idea where it went. I've got no idea if it exists anywhere else.
I need that.
If somebody has access to that song,
cards fly high,
you know this, and it was like, and then with the we bowling part, it was like we Orange Bowlin'. It didn't work. They had to fit it in there. It was very gargled, but it was a wonderful song. I don't remember any of the refrains. I don't remember any of anything besides the part that I just gave you, but I remember loving it, and then it just disappeared forever. Somebody needs to unearth that and make it public again, and make the masses happy. Come on, let us know where that is. Let's go. So we were talking about Louisville versus Jackson State tonight. Now this is, prepare yourselves. This is a streaming game tonight. ACC Network Extra, watch ESPN, whatever you use, whatever's available to. This is the only one this season. This is the only night this entire year that you're going to have to deal with this. By the way, the Watch ESPN app, it's gotten somehow even worse, Roman.
Yeah.
Have you noticed this?
Yeah.
It makes you log in all the time and then it just doesn't work. You get every single time you need it to work if you go 2 days without watching something on Watch ESPN.
They forget my TV provider.
Yeah, then you got to delete. And then even when you log in, it's like, doesn't recognize this. I'm like, what? You either have to watch it on your computer or phone or delete the entire app and then reinstall it if you want to watch it on your TV. It's quite literally, and I've been complaining about, it used to be ESPN3.com, and I would use it for game replays to write stories for college basketball when I was in college in 06. I've been complaining about this app for literally 20 years, and I don't think it's gotten any better. Everything in technology over the past 2 decades has improved besides the ESPN app. It's awful. And that's what you're going to have to deal with tonight. Now, we do have our boy Kent Taylor on the call tonight. We love KT.
We love KT.
We'll get to...
That'll be fun.
If he messes up, we can make fun of him about it on the show tomorrow, which will be good. Kent Taylor and Larry O'Bannon on the call this evening. If we're assuming... And let's just... We respect all opponents on this show. But on paper, this is probably the third worst opponent we're going to play this season. We just beat one of the worst opponents that we're supposed to play this season, a team that is on every metric worse than this team, but not by a wide margin. We beat them by 60. Assuming that we can kind of name the score again in this game, what are you most looking to see from the Cards in their final tune-up before playing Kentucky in 5 days?
Interior aggression.
Okay.
On the offensive side. I mean, defensive side, it's kind of, you're going to match up to who you've got. I expect you to kind of play, not necessarily to your competition, but you can only take away so much from SC State and Bucknell.
Sure.
I don't really have negative notes on the defensive side on the interior. But, Mike, on the offensive side, I want to see us take advantage of mismatches when we have them. I want to see us utilize Sananda Fru's athleticism and make the priority getting to the rim. Even though it is going to be a three-point shooting team, you generate the best open shots when the defense is near the paint. So you got to collapse the defense. You've got to put pressure on the rim. You have to make them think that's what you're trying to do. I want to see that straight away. I want to see that in every game, right from the start. But that kind of starts with your front court players, right? You're not asking Ali Khalifa to go out there and create offense for himself, facing up to the basket. You're not asking Sananda Fru to really do that back to the basket. Zugris is more of that complementary kind of player. He's just doing what's asked of him out there. Sananda Fru has to go out there and find his spots, pick his shots out, and be able to be a threat on the interior. Because there's going to be a lot of teams that don't have someone that can really match you athletically. And I want to be able to take advantage of that. And that starts now.
I think all eyes are, we more or less know what we've got with Isaac McNeely and Ryan Conwell, and even Michael Brown. Even though it's just spectacular watching him do his thing out there, I think all eyes are kind of on the front court. My biggest thing, what you're saying is, I think the go-to answer. I want to see something we talked about a lot yesterday. Can Kenai Roots do it again? I know it's limited competition, and if he goes out there and he scores 20 points again tonight and has 4 or 5 dunks, people are going to say, okay, I want to see him do it against Kentucky. I still want to – we haven't seen him give that type of production in back-to-back games ever. Yeah. I don't care about the level of competition. I want to see him go out there with that same level of aggression, with that same mindset of, look, I'm different than everybody on the other side of the ball.
That was my second point.
Let's go assert myself.
In the Running with Roman show. That energy and intensity level that you come into these games with off the bench has clearly been contagious.
Mm-hmm.
Make that a factor to your game on top of your skill and the things that you do. I want to see him come in here and be the most intense defender, the most active defender out there on the defensive side. I want him to go in there and be assertive and sure of himself on the offensive side, especially against a team like this. So that's the expectation for Kenai, continuing on, building on the performance he's already had.
I know when we talk about the front court, everyone immediately goes to Sananda Frew, which they were calling him Sananda Frew during the game. And I know Terrence Oglesby does his homework, and he was getting all the pronunciation. Is it supposed to be Sananda?
I don't know.
I'm going to call him Sananda until I get corrected. But if tonight, because KT I think calls him Sananda during the exhibition games. We'll see. It's a developing story. We're keeping our eyes on it. Everyone's focusing on Sananda Frew because he's still so much of a mystery. We didn't get much from Ali Khalifa in the opening game. Wasn't overload of a let's build some confidence up before the Kentucky game. Let's get some guys that, like with Kenai specifically, if he goes out there and does it 2 games in a row, maybe he feels more confident going into the Kentucky game and can be more of a factor than if he has that self-doubt in the back of his mind going into our first marquee game of the season. We want to get our front court guys more involved. Do we see Case and Pryor tonight? I would assume not, but maybe they get him out there for a little bit of a tune-up. Also, I'll state the obvious, too. If we get a key player injured tonight, I'll die. I will absolutely die. And any time a player goes up for a dunk or a rebound tonight, I'm going to hold my breath and just be like, please come down safely. Because it's a terrifying thing when you're 5. We always seem to have something happen in these 5 days before the Kentucky game. Hopefully, I'm knocking on all the wood in here. Hopefully that's not an issue tonight. We should be able to get out to a comfortable enough lead where the starters aren't playing tons of minutes in the second half. But at the same time, you want to make sure that they're fresh and that they're, these are the first 2 games of the season. You want to make sure that we're getting into the flow. We're developing that early season chemistry, and we're in the best possible position to take down Kentucky on Tuesday. By the way, before the games Monday and Tuesday night that both teams played, Ken Pom projected Kentucky to beat us by 1. That's now flipped. He's got Louisville winning that game by 1. Kentucky has gone up in Ken Pom's rankings. They started the season at 4. They're now up to 3. We started at 14. We're now up to 11. So both teams were impressive in their debuts according to his system. And now he projects, I think it'll open up. It might be like a Louisville 1-point favorite, maybe a pick 'em, somewhere around there. The spread's going to be very, very small. And wherever the money goes is where the line's going to move. But I don't think it's going to move a ton regardless. Speaking of our schedule, I do want to give a shout-out to NJIT guy. Our guy that goes up there to the New Jersey Institute of Technology.
Yep.
He's our source for all NJIT stuff. They were as bad as South Carolina State looked on Monday. NJIT was supposed to be far and away the worst team on our schedule. There are 365 teams playing Division I college basketball this season. NJIT began the season at number 360. They went on the road and knocked off A-10 Fordham on Tuesday night. That's a huge upset for them.
It is.
Against a program that plays in a much better conference. They went on the road and beat them by 11. Now they get Fairfield on Saturday. Maybe the Highlanders, not so much of a pushover. They're still ranked behind South Carolina State on Ken Pom, but it's very close now. They're up to 332. But we've got on our schedule, I think, 4 unequivocally bad teams, relatively speaking to the rest of the sport. South Carolina State was bad. We saw it. Jackson State tonight. Like I said, I think they'll compete in the SWAC. They're picked to finish third in the conference going into the season, which has 12 teams. But the SWAC and the MEAC are typically two of the worst conferences in college basketball. Eastern Michigan is not going to be good in the MAC this season. They beat Georgia State in their opener, but we'll see. And then NJIT is pretty bad. Besides that, those are the only things that are going to drag the schedule down a little bit. Ohio's a good MAC team. They'll be tough in a couple of Saturdays. Montana is always very good, and they're always hungry for a big-time game. And then everybody else we play is a power conference team or Memphis State. So nice little dig at Memphis there. They don't play in a power conference. What do you want me to say? Anything else that comes to your mind about tonight's game that stands out as far as what you'd like to see to make you more confident about next Tuesday's game against Kentucky?
Adrian Woolley.
That good one.
I want to see him completing and converting to the rim. I feel like he's consistently making the good decision to get past his man or get by his man, especially off of the catch, and just having trouble finishing at the rim. I feel like he's not really timing their defenders contest all that well, adjusting to obviously a more athletic second line of defense, playing, well, I mean, not really actually all that much with the two teams we've seen, but he's just adjusting, right? The pace that we're playing at, I feel like we're a little bit more slowed down at Kennesaw State. He got to really break his man down and do what he wanted on the ball, and now the ball's moving. He's moving after he passes the ball up. He's just adjusting, more moving parts, so I expect him to be better regardless throughout the start of the season, but I do want to see him specifically finishing at the rim a little bit better and kind of like Kanai, right? Being a little bit more decisive with those decisions like we kind of wanted from Kanai going into this season. So I think he'll get there, though.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't stood out the way that I sort of expected him to at the beginning of this season. He's he's done some good things, but he's closer to what they call a jag, just another guy, than he is a guy that you look at and you're like, ooh, he could be a big-time difference maker for us. It's early. This is a 19-year-old kid coming off of his freshman season of college. It may take more time than we thought, but the talent is there. And this should be a team against whom he can kind of flex that talent. The last thing, and we can move on after this. I know South Carolina State is bad. They look terrible. It was one of the worst performances we've seen from an opposing team inside the Yum Center ever, besides Louisville versus Lemoyne. We still played great defense. We did not let our intensity level or our attention to detail dip because of the level of our competition. We went out there. It's a team that we should have been able to stifle. We did. We suffocated them. Held them to 44 points, I think. Was that right? 45 points?
45, yep.
Could have easily been like 30 if we'd kept it up. This team's a little bit more talented offensively. It's another one, though. If you go out there and you're playing as hard as you should defensively and you've got the scouting report down, you should be able to go out there and suffocate them as well. There were a lot of
Same thing next week, too.
Against Kentucky?
Yeah. Can't drop down to the level of your competition, Mike.
There were a lot of questions about this team's ability to defend, and certainly going out there and playing well against Jackson State and South Carolina State aren't going to silence those questions. But it would be nice to see us go out there and give the same type of effort that we did on Monday night in this game and hold them to a very low shooting percentage, a very low point total, and all that good stuff. The South Carolina State team that came in here, we held them to 22.8% shooting. 22.8% shooting. That was the lowest field goal shooting percentage for a team playing against Louisville since Samford shot 21% in an 86-45 loss back on November 13th, 2015.
The one kid out there pulling the back-to-back left hand.
The left hand
hook air balls, Mike.
It was like a push shot, too. It came up 5 feet. That was the one where I texted friends. I was like, this may be the worst team we've ever seen play.
That's where I was like, yeah, this is kind of tough to watch.
I think that was the moment where everybody was like, oh, my God. Like, these guys are very bad.
Yeah, the left-hand push shot air balls back-to-back. That one was – the second one, I was like, wow, again? And then the third one, I was like, no way. There's no way.
The confidence he had to take that shot was just absurd. It's like, It was like the old Patrick Ewing quote. When have you ever shot that shot? Like, I can't imagine.
Do you practice that
Do you
shot?
practice that shot in Prague? Have you ever taken that shot? I can't imagine that guy has that in his repertoire. That felt like making something up in the spur of a moment when I'm panicked because I'm going up against Louisville and not fellow South Carolina State Bulldogs in practice. That was a rough moment. But I would love to see our defense be equally dominant tonight against another overmatched opponent. I think that would be, it doesn't necessarily be like, ooh, we're going to hold Kentucky to 60 points, but it'd be a nice statement early on. Cards, again, 38.5-point favorites. They should be able to take care of business tonight, but you got to actually go out there and do it. Hopefully they can continue to look the same way that they did on Monday night and keep instilling confidence in this team. Let's talk a little bit about Cal football coming up this weekend. Well, tomorrow's show, we've got, like I said at the beginning of the week, game day show on Monday, as well as a reaction to football on the weekend that was. Tuesday, reaction to basketball. Yesterday was kind of in between everything. Today, it's the game day show. And then tomorrow, reaction to game plus previewing Cal. It's a loaded week around these parts. Absolutely loaded. I feel like the Cal game hasn't probably gotten the level of attention that it deserves just because we've had so much going on. You toss in the CFP rankings, which pissed everybody off yesterday. That demanded a lot of attention, too. We've got a dangerous opponent coming to town. I know the spread is what it is. We haven't blown out anybody since the Bowling Green game, I guess, was technically a blowout, 40-17. It didn't feel like a blowout. It kind of felt like we were playing with our food that entire game. And you've got a Cal team. I know they're coming in here 5-4. They're 2-3 in the ACC. They're out of the ACC championship race. But when you look at what they've done so far this season, there's absolutely danger here. Absolutely danger here. If you've listened to the show the last couple of weeks and you've been like, oh, Mike's being an alarmist about the Virginia Tech game. Virginia Tech game was pretty scary. I was not an alarmist about the Boston College game. Like, we're going to take care of business. We're going to blow them out. I now am of the belief that we're not going to blow out anybody. Maybe ever in conference play. Jeff Brom is obsessed with close games in league play. He tells his team, we've seen it on video, it's going to come down to the fourth quarter. Every game we play is going to come down to the fourth quarter. They've started to believe it. If we get up 21-0 in this game, I'll still think it's going to come down to the fourth quarter. Conversely, if we get down like 17-3, I'll believe it's going to come down to the fourth quarter. It's almost like he's talked it into existence. It's not, I wish he would just tell his team one time, we should blow these guys out. Just to see what happens, just to see how it works. Maybe we would go out there and just put it on somebody, but we didn't do it last year, which frustrated everybody. The only time we really did it was against Pitt, and that was because they had 35 guys injured and they were ready for the season to be over. We kind of did it to Clemson a little bit, which was kind of the only other time that we pulled away with a win. I fully expect this to be a close game. You look at what Cal's done so far this season. They got off to a 3-0 start. They beat a Minnesota team that is now 6-3 and 4-2 in the Big Ten, and has some knocked off Nebraska when they were nationally ranked. Just beat Michigan State last week. I know that's not overly exciting, but they're going to go to a bowl game from the Big Ten, and they have a chance to finish the season with a probably 6-3 conference record. They play Northwestern and Wisconsin. They won't beat Oregon, but that's a good win. That's a win that has aged well for Cal. They were competitive against Virginia last week. They should have beaten Virginia Tech 2 weeks earlier. They did beat North Carolina before that. The only time, I guess there's two times where they've kind of gotten it handed to them, was San Diego State and Duke. Duke put it on them a little bit, 45-21, and SDSU shut them out 34-0. Besides that, they've been competitive against everybody, and they've got a handful of impressive wins. The thing that scares me the most about this game is that they've got a quarterback who has no fear. Sagapulete, the true freshman quarterback from Hawaii, if you haven't watched him play,
got an arm.
He's got an arm, and he wants to sling it. Now, the throwing one of them thing alert level, I'm curious to hear your take on this. Because he is not afraid to throw the ball in harm's way. But he's also not afraid to take like 75 shots downfield in a single game, which is a little bit terrifying. He is feast or famine. He's thrown for 2,200 yards, 11 touchdowns, 9 picks, And like I said, puts the ball in harm's way a ton, but also if you can get guys open, he's going to take shots downfield, and they will throw the ball a lot against us. Give me your throwing one of them thing alert levels, by the way.
Yeah, he had 2 games in a row before that Virginia performance spike where he didn't throw one, a win and a loss. The win coming against UNC, the loss against VT. It's tough to have it too low just because he's consistently done it all season long.
Mm-hmm.
And when he does it, he might do it a few times, right? Kind of based on the defense a little bit, kind of based on the what do you call it? How the setup of the game is unwinding, kind of forces them to throw the ball more times than not when you're playing from behind, of course. But it's weird because it's not all that high, but if he throws one, the meter skyrockets for multiple. Does that make sense?
I think it should be high.
It's about if you put it out of 10, it's about an 8.8.
Okay. I know you're looking at the numbers.
Drones was at a 9.2 by game time, right?
Yeah. But they didn't throw the ball a lot.
They don't throw the
I
ball.
thought that was too high.
I just thought that he's so wavering with his accuracy. If you throw it into one of our defenders' hands, you throw it just a little too far over. I thought one was going to pop up for us, right? I didn't think we were necessarily going to pick one off perfectly, but that didn't happen. He's the opposite. He's going to throw it into double coverage downfield by choice, thinking his man's going to come out with it. And we've been really good with those all season long. Carson Beck, couple of different quarterbacks who I feel like we've gotten the deep ball on the interception with. But I think that he's going to throw multiple, Mike.
The numbers say one thing. Like you said, 2 picks last week against Virginia, but none the 2 weeks before against VT and UNC. One, the reason why I think it should be higher than Kyron Drones, they weren't throwing the ball a ton before that game. They've thrown the ball 30 or more times every single game this season. But it's you don't have a weird outlier out there where he's tossed it like 55 times. It's been between 30 and 39 every single game. 30 times last week. He threw it 39 times in both of the 2 games before that. And in the game before those 2, he threw it 31 times and got picked off 3 times against Duke. Now, that's when they got desperate. If we can get out to an early lead, he will absolutely take shots downfield. I was watching desperately hoping that they were going to knock off Virginia last week, and also because I bet pretty heavily on them. If they get down, he just kind of does the F it, I'm going deep mindset. This is a primo opportunity for guys like D'Angelo Hutchinson and our other safeties to step back there and make some plays. And we've capitalized. We're we got knocked down because we had no interceptions last week, but we're still a top 10 team in the country in interceptions. We've had 12 in 8 games so far this year. But if you don't play him the right way, he can absolutely burn you. He's had 2 or more touchdowns thrown in 3 games this season. He's not overly mobile. He's kind of like, he reminds you a little bit of Teddy Bridgewater, where when he gets out there and does run, you're like, oh, maybe he should do that a little bit more, but he just doesn't want to. Almost all of his rushing numbers are via sack or scrambles in pass plays. Their offense is pretty straightforward. Like, they will run traditional run plays, or they will ask Sagapaleti to just sling it all over the field. They're going to throw the ball a ton. This will be the biggest workout our secondary has gotten in a long time. And then when they run, it's the Kendrick Raphael is the guy who gets the ball more times than not, and he's a familiar name. If that name sounds familiar, it should. He played at NC State the last 2 years, was fairly productive there. He moves on to Cal, and he's had some big performances, but he's not a guy that should kill you. He hasn't rushed for over 100 yards since late September against BC. He hasn't had more than 3.7 yards per carry in a game since that game against Boston College. Not overly explosive, more of a chunk guy. They use the run to set up the pass, and then they live and die with their freshman quarterback. So it's a big opportunity for the secondary. It's a big opportunity for our linebackers. And you know who else it's a big opportunity for?
Ron English.
Ron English, of course, but the pass rushers. Because they haven't gotten an opportunity the last couple of weeks to feast. You've had Virginia Tech with Kyron Drones who want to run more than they want to throw. And when they do throw, is a lot of short passes. That doesn't give a whole lot of chances for guys like Clev Lubin to get into the backfield and make plays. Excuse me, Boston College came with a similar attack where they weren't letting their QB sit back there and just hang out and then throw. They wanted to win primarily with the run game and short passes. Cal's going to sling it. They want those ball. They want the ball to go downfield. They want time for those routes to develop. That should mean the guys that we love to bring off, like Tan Holloway coming on a corner blitz, but especially guys up front, they should be licking their chops because they haven't had an opportunity like this in a long time. We should be able to get back there and get multiple sacks. If there was a sack alert level, I think it'd be off the charts in this game. And if we don't get back there and get consistent pressure, you're asking for a close game. Like, if we limit them in explosive plays.
Got to watch out for the Jacob De Jesus kid. He's had 6 games with a 20-plus yard reception, like 4 of those that were like a 30-plus yard reception.
He's a burner. They've also got a good tight end with a great name. Mason Minnie is a guy that they use a lot. But you're right. Jacob De Jesus he's their home run threat. He's the guy that they're going to go to when they take a lot of those shots. All right, let's go to break. When we come back, podcast legend Dan Snard. He's in the house here. He's ready to share some knowledge and hopefully not cuss on the radio. We'll also take texts from you guys. Here we go. Be Sim. Back after this here on 1450 The Big X.
It can't be the same music, Mike. But it can't be all the same.
Okay.
That's the thing. It's like I feel like we end with like a never scared and we ready still.
Okay.
But
I'm fine with that.
I feel like Joker and the Thief kind of needs to be in it maybe. but we can't have all of the same music. You know, we don't need to be swagging and surfing and knucking.
We don't have to swag and surf.
Because B. Sims at every game courtside, Mike.
He is now.
They're playing this song in there. So
He's
we're
working for State of Louisville.
And we're flying high this season.
I think we still have to have Joker and the Thief at 5.
Okay.
I think you need to do that.
So we'll go We Fly High. You don't want these cards. Get a couple in between, and we'll be good.
Well, here's the deal. If we go out there and we don't play well tonight, if this game is at all close in the second half, this is a dress rehearsal for UK.
This is when you work these things out, too, though.
But it's the last day we have a chance to work this out.
We got to get it right now.
We got to be ready for next Tuesday. It's the most important show in the history of this show. We got to figure this stuff out before we actually get there. So,
what's the game day music line set at, Mike, to where...
Oh, God, now we got an alert going off.
If the vibes aren't up, if the vibes aren't right because of the game day music, what's the line that we didn't cover because of that? Does that make sense? Because 37, 38 and a half, that's too much. I think if we still win by like 25 tonight, the game day
25 is not enough. It's not enough.
31.
I mean, if we don't cover after beating somebody by 60 and we change the music up, I think...
Danny, what do you think?
Hold on. We got to do an intro here. First, we got to play it safe for Tuesday. We do have podcast legend Danny Sennard in the house now, live in the flesh.
Which mic is he?
He's on Black Mic.
Okay. You're on the Black Mic.
Well, whatever the one. They call the red mic. They're all the same mics. The red one has the red cord. It's whatever the other one is that doesn't have the
blue mic. Okay.
Blue?
Believe so.
Why is that the blue? There's nothing blue on that mic. Anyways, Dan's here. He's ready to talk sports for the next couple of hours. Dan, how are you?
I'm good. Appreciate you having me. Little pop in for the day here in Louisville. It's nice to meet my guy Rome over there. So that was a long time coming.
Definitely.
I was hoping we met at a tailgate. Sounds like you're a legend out, in the streets out there. But it was very nice to meet you here.
I was hoping we met on a golf course.
Roman did think he met you like twice before.
Really?
You went up the first time he met TJ Walker, who has a show on this station. He went up and just goes, Dan?
Yeah.
And TJ was like, no, I'm TJ. I literally put on this event. And that was a tough moment. But it's okay. He's been waiting to meet you for a while.
Yeah, we'll have to do the golf course next time. But
yeah.
I think it's been like maybe a year or two since I've been in here. So actually, I mean, this is typical me coming here. So unfortunately, I had to come from like a visitation. So I was dressed up, and I was like, now this show's on YouTube. I feel like I got to like throw some cards gear on or whatnot. So obviously I don't live here. My brother's at work. I'd go over his house to change clothes. So I was like, and I don't know if you ever do this or if we're too old to do this, but I was like, whatever. I'm just changing in the car. Like, not a big deal. So, this little church that's right behind us, I pulled it right past Thornton's and kind of just pulled right in there. And I was like, all right, we'll knock this out quick, whatnot.
School for children.
Literally, shirts off. I look out my window, and here comes like 3 wagons of children, like right towards my car. I'm like scrambling about as hard as I could. I'm like, God, just get the shirt on. Like I'll figure the rest out. So, I feel like I made eye contact with one of the teachers. Not a big deal, but we're safe and sound. We're here. We did just get a police alert, but I don't think that's for me.
There is, 40-year-old undressing in front of a school for children.
Yeah,
it's a bold move.
It is.
Then again, Dan Sennard's a bold man. We've got Dan here again. It's a game day edition of the show. Louisville taking on Jackson State tonight, but we've been distracted a little bit early on by this Penn State moving truck that's been spotted around town. Now we got to the bottom of it. We had, and I say we're taking credit for somebody else's work. We had the guy. I didn't give his name out on Twitter, but apparently the tweets ended up getting posted. So shout out to our guy Doc at 1912 Doc. Who went ahead,
strong name.
He hit up Barrett Unlimited, the moving company, and was like, what's up with this truck? And they were like, we moved someone to Louisville. We have an update now on this. The Barrett Moving Company has officially put out a statement about this. I assume owner of this company, Barnett Unlimited Inc., just said, good afternoon, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. Which sounds like some sort of presidential address. I just thought this would make things a little easier. I've received over 50 messages, email, website, text, etc., The PSU truck in Louisville, Kentucky today is moving an alumni. It has nothing to do with football. Thank you.
This is coaching searches are the best. Like, I was actually thinking about that when I was listening on the way in and you were talking about this. Like, what was our most hectic favorite coaching search in Louisville basketball or football? I mean, the Patino one was wild because we had the rumors of Denny Crum coming to coach Trinity basketball at one point.
But it was actually quick. From the time that Denny got the season ended and we got Rick in and got him signed, it was relatively quick. It didn't drag on. But the rumors that were out there were outrageous at that time.
I went home and immediately started shooting in my driveway. I was like, okay, I can't let Denny down here. But
I don't remember that being a thing.
No, for sure. That one was good. And then, the Charlie Strong.
That's where I was.
That one was real wild. So
because there wasn't a firm can't miss candidate.
Right.
The amount of this was early on in the Card Chronicle days too. The amount of texts that I got about John Gruden at that point in time were out. People were like, joke all you want, this may really happen. And I was like, it's not happening.
Those texts were from me.
I think there may have been a couple from you.
Yeah.
That was a wild one. But yeah, they always get a little bit weird. I mean, we have multiple people now saying this has nothing to do with football. The owner of the company comes out and is like, this has nothing to do with football. We just moved somebody from this area to Louisville. I guarantee there are still people on both sides of this, Penn State fans and Louisville fans, who are like, I don't know. I don't know. This is a smoke screen. I think it's still something going on here.
This company has to know they're going to get these kind of questions every so often if you have Penn State blasted all over your truck.
It's Penn State football, too. It's not even just Penn State. It's not, we have Cardinal Moving Company around here.
Right.
This is specifically football. And they moved James Franklin from Nashville to Pennsylvania 8 years ago, or whatever that was. So, yeah, I think it's understandable for people to be a little bit scared.
Yeah, I'm sure the HR department over at Penn State Football Moving Company is their inbox is quite full at the moment, and they're probably panicking a little bit.
It all boils down to this: the faster that Josh Hurd can get this done and eliminate all of this stuff, the better.
It's going to get done.
It's going to get done. We don't need it to linger. We're in the middle of a GD playoff race at this point. Every single week from this point forward is a playoff elimination game. We've got to get it done. Now, we are obviously fully focused on Cal, which we're 51 hours away from kickoff between the Cards and the Bears. We mentioned spread 19.5, 20.5. I did see for the first time, though, an early spread for the Clemson game. We're not looking ahead, but that number very low. 5.5 is the spread, which is kind of crazy when you take into account the fact that Louisville right now number 15 in the CFP rankings and Clemson has a losing record, but also indicative of the fact the computers still think that Clemson's got a ton of talent. They're still playing teams close. They just can't find ways to win, and Dabo this close to renouncing his faith. It could happen with a win by the Cards. Let me ask you, Dan. We got Roman's confidence level. I said that I'm terrified. Your confidence level or gut feeling going into this Cal game?
So you're terrified of the Cal game. I'm
terrified of every game at this point. Why should we not be?
I actually agree with that sentiment. I guess the reason I'm most terrified for this game is because I'm not that terrified.
I said before Virginia.
And, I don't know. The fact that it's a night game, I feel like we haven't really played well at night at home lately for whatever reason. And I don't think our DBs have seen a quarterback like this yet, that if you give these receivers or tight end a sliver of daylight, this kid will put it on him. He's that good. So I think this will be a big game for our D-line. Obviously, Isaac being out, that's another thing. Mm-hmm. Chris Bell's a little dinged up. So I just don't think we're that type of team that is going to blow people out, unfortunately. Last year we had the Pitt blowout, but other than that, I feel like we played a lot of close games in conference, and it just feels like this is a team that grinds out wins. They make second half adjustments, but if there's one game left on the schedule where it's hey, there could be a blowout, if we get to this quarterback early, I could see us doing quite well, but I think it's kind of depends on the start we get off to.
I mean, our pass rush has been so good all season long. They haven't really had opportunities the last 2 weeks because of the offenses they've been going up against. They'll have opportunities on Saturday. If they can consistently get back there, Cal doesn't really have a pivot. So could be a good game for the defense to feast, but also you give up it's an offense that you can keep at bay for an entire game. And if you give up 3 explosive plays, they're right back in the game. And they're capable of. They're going to take a ton of shots. We haven't seen the offense operate at anything resembling a high level when Isaac Brown's been out this season.
Right.
And that's a little bit scary going into the stretch because, Miller Moss has had some up and down games. Duke Watson has done basically nothing productive this entire season. Keywan's been good, but we haven't seen him be a lead back. When we have sort of resigned ourselves to the offense is let Isaac go out there and even if he's not 100%, look like one of the best running backs in the country. And then in the passing game, dink and dunk when we can because they're loading everybody up to stop Isaac. You can't really do that in this game. And I know Cal's defense isn't the best, but we've gone up against some pretty bad defenses recently, and Miller Moss still hasn't been able to beat them with his arm. If they do shut down Keywan, and we don't even know if Duke's going to play. We get an injury report tonight at 8. But if they do shut down the running game or at least limit it, can Miller Moss go out there and win you a game against it? I don't care who it is. Can he go out there and win you a game at this point in the season? This may be one where you have to ask him to do that.
No doubt. I think at some point, especially with what we have coming down the stretch, he's going to have to win at minimum 1, maybe 2 or more games for us. I mean, it's hard. I keep wanting to say I think he's capable, but then, every time you say that, it's a dumb giveaway or something of that nature. But I was proud of how he played in the second half. Obviously, the touchdown throw to Lacey, that was one of his better throws. I will say, obviously we want Duke to play, no doubt. I think Keywan's kind of coming into his own. I think he's gaining more and more confidence. I think the fact that he's been able to break a couple off in 2 games.
He's feeling good now.
Yes, 100%. I think he's seeing the field a lot better, and obviously that comes with more reps. So I'm totally confident with him back there for a game like this. Now, when we go to SMU or whatnot, that obviously having your full arsenal, especially Isaac, that would be nice to be, to have in your back pocket. But with Keywan toting the rock and then hopefully Duke coming back and kind of supplementing him a little bit, I think we'll be all right in the backfield. But you're right. I mean, Miller's got to show us something here to where we can have, confidence that, hey, we're going to need you to air it out a little bit here in these last 4 games.
It's going to have to be something more than just short hitch to Chris Bell.
Yes.
Nate Krisky over the middle.
Jeff's hiding a lot here.
Is he?
No, I mean hiding is like trying to hide Miller's
I thought you were doing the thing that we joke about in the show all the time. Where people for a second, I thought he was doing the thing.
No.
Because, the early games, everybody's like, Jeff's playing it close to the vest. We're going to be fine. And now, we're late in the season. It's like Jeff hadn't shown anything. Well, I mean, we're saving it for the playoffs.
The Miami game, he dumped out his toy chest. He pretty much did everything there. But
no, I see what you're saying, and I agree with you. At some point, though, you've got to kind of live or die with this guy, especially if Cal goes out there and gets out to a lead. Now, if we can get up on them and force them to get a little bit desperate and we can turn them over, then I think you can go into, all right, let's limit the mistakes. If we don't throw a pick 6, we're probably in pretty good shape here. But if it's nip or tuck and they're not letting Keywan Brown get out there and do his thing, you kind of got to say, all right, we got to take shots downfield. We haven't done this well, but Dakari Collins, step up a little bit. Trayshawn Hurry, step up a little bit. And then Lacey and Bell go out there and do your thing. Go ahead,
put that on Jeff Brom, Mike. I mean, as much as I agree with you guys that Miller Moss is going to have to win you games when you're potentially having running back injury issues like this and you don't get the full strength of multiple guys back there, as much as I think that Miller is going to have to be accurate and the football games will force situations where he has to make the right play downfield, Chris Bell, Colin Lacey, and those complimentary other receivers, your tight ends, they have to go and win you these games, in my opinion, especially one like this.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice to see. I mean, first of all, I think Chris has been banged up the last 2 weeks, so he hasn't been as explosive. You've seen him. He's been more of kind of like a possession receiver where we're throwing him in slant where he's going to take some hits, but we're not asking him to get a ton of yards after the catch. Maybe this game you can open up some more stuff and let him get out there and make some plays if he's feeling healthy enough and can use that speed. But yeah, this is kind of a game. It's a spot where I mentioned this earlier. Chris Bell popping up at number 18 in the Athletics' latest mock NFL draft. If he is going to be a first-round pick, go out there and look like a first-round pick against Cal. They're a defense that's gotten lit up by some good passing offenses this season. Make some plays. I think the problem is we're late in the year. It's getting colder out. Lacey and Bell are both, I think, a little bit injured. They don't have that same explosiveness that they had early in the season, at least in the passing game. Can you put that aside? Can you get them healthy enough to go out there and win you a game? So,
One thing I'll find interesting that other teams, for whatever reason, haven't figured out, are they going to kick to Colin Lacey?
Surely God not.
I know. I'm like, how many times are we going to do this before they keep kicking to this guy? I mean, he's just unbelievable back there. I think, even if they don't, hopefully get in the punter's head, cost some short punts, whatever. But I would be surprised if they kicked to him. It's nice that, we do have a reliable field goal kicker. So, besides the punt game, the special teams has been great, and I think that's something that you can have in your back pocket. One thing I'd like to see from Miller a little bit more that I think he actually does an all right job, I want to see him use his legs. I feel like when he uses his legs, he gets into the game a little bit more from a throwing standpoint. It kind of wakes him up a little bit, take a hit, whatnot. So
he also keeps passing up opportunities.
Right, no doubt. That's one thing that frustrates me about Miller is kind of his pocket presence. Like, He'll flush out early if there's any push up the middle and get rid of it. Either stand in and take a hit, or if it's not there, put the ball on your shoulder and run and try to pick up a first down that way.
The play where I think Roman and I talked about this on Monday, the play last Saturday where I think it was 3rd and 11 and he evaded the pass rush. There was nobody in front of him. You couldn't tell with the cameras watching from home exactly how much space, but it looked like he could run for the first down. But he throws moving forward deep downfield, and I was like, oh my God, we got a guy wide open down there because and then it's like Dakari Collins completely covered up by 2 guys. I was like, what are you doing?
I think
Run for the first down.
Jeff ripped him on the sideline.
That's what it looked
that,
like.
so,
yeah.
Just don't be afraid, buddy. Just head out there. We got your back.
He did it later in the game where he scrambled for a first down, and it was like, oh, you can do this.
Yes.
You can jog for 10 yards, buddy.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna be okay. I mean, he looked terrified on the touchdown run 2 weeks ago where there was nobody over there. He's like, is somebody coming? He's like kind of looking over his shoulder. He got there. You got there. You didn't get touched. You're gonna be okay. Let's go. I'm with you there. I think we could use Miller using the legs a little bit more.
For sure.
He's going to be fine. Like, Tyler Shuck had the injury history. He also had the NFL draft coming up. Like, Miller, maybe just go out there and leave it all out there for the team right now. We got a playoff chance. By the way, I saw this. Our boy Corey Price must have been in here for KRC. He's got his list of fun facts. Dan, I know you love playing the birthday game, where it's this person's birthday, guess the age.
This is what a treat this is.
We do this with Roman when Corey leaves his sheet in the studio. Here's the first one. I'll let Dan take the first swing, and then I'll ask Roman. Former Kentucky men's basketball player Deron Lamb. It's his birthday today.
Ooh.
How old is he?
37.
Roman says 37.
So 2012, he must have been 20. So 13. I'll say 33.
34
Okay.
is the correct answer. He's 33, turning 34 today.
Gotcha.
Actress Emma Stone.
Oh.
Roman, how old is Emma Stone? Roman, are you familiar with Emma Stone?
I am.
Okay.
I didn't listen to anything. Spears does the birthdays as well on his show.
Yeah.
And whenever it's ladies on the birthdays, I guess they rate the ladies. Scoots rated Emma Stone a 1.5 today.
We've talked about Scoots' issues with women.
That's insane. But I'll go. I mean,
why are they rating women on Spears' show? It's 2025, Spears.
Sports radio, and we're rating Emma Stone.
Obviously hasn't seen La La Land, but
yeah, come on.
I'd say she's probably 30. I would say 34 for her.
Okay, Dan, what do you say?
I was gonna go in that same range. I'm gonna say I'll go back to 33. I'll say 33.
She's 37 years old today.
Just kidding.
Shout out to Emma Stone. Happy birthday. Superbad legend. Actress Sally Field. Did Sally Field die? I thought she did.
This one, yeah. I mean,
no, not famously not dead.
Miss Doubtfire. That was like 94, and she had to be like, oh God, she had to be like 40.
Roman, are you familiar with Sally Field?
No.
I was gonna say there's zero chance you know.
I'm gonna say 92.
I'll go.
No, not 81.
You only changed because you
I
saw me
know.
laughing.
I'm sorry.
Roman, how old do you think Sally Field is?
I just did like the swipe down where you type the person's name, it shows the picture, but no age here.
Okay.
I'd say 66.
She's 79. 79, not 92. Are you guys familiar with Bowen Yang? Saturday Night Live, Asian.
Oh, okay. I know who you're talking
Okay.
about.
Very funny.
Yes.
Guess how old he is today?
38.
Close. Dan?
Oh, close. I'll say 40.
35 is the
Okay.
correct answer. Last chance to get one. Roman, are you familiar with Ethan Hawke?
Heard the name, but
You
I
don't
don't
know Ethan Hawke.
I don't know.
Training day.
Roman doesn't watch movies.
Oh, okay.
How old is Ethan Hawke today? Happy birthday to Ethan Hawke.
I'll say 45.
Roman? Before Sunrise.
I
The
have
Before
no idea.
trilogy. Fantastic.
44.
55 years old.
What?
Ethan Hawke today.
God, I'm rusty.
Guys, the rust is showing. By the way, famous November 6th events. On this day in 1998, The Waterboy was released in U.S. theaters. On this day in 1929, the Chicago Cardinals defeated the Providence Steamrollers in the first night game in NFL history, 16-0. Chicago's won 7 games since then. The Rutgers defeated the College of New Jersey, which is now Princeton, in the first college football game played in America, 1869.
Oh.
Final score 6-4. On this day in 1947, NBC's Meet the Press,
Terrible game.
which is the longest-running program on American television, aired for the first time. And in 1888, on this day, Benjamin Harrison won the U.S. presidential election despite losing the popular vote to Grover Cleveland.
Going back to Waterboy, I remember. Sorry, Grover. That was like the peak of like Sandler's run.
Yeah.
So the hype for that movie was out of control. I remember because I think me and you were probably what, 8th grade then, 7th grade, 8th grade.
I guess, yeah. I just remember that summer, one of our friends, Eric Wining, was like, he saw the trailer for it, and he's like crushing people. He's like, it looks like the funniest movie of all time.
Yeah.
I was like, I gotta see this.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was one of those like when it was in the theater. Like, I'm not saying it wasn't funny, but I think I laughed more because it was Sandler than how actual funny the movie was.
Sure.
But yeah, that was a lot of hype for The Waterboy. I bet it crushed in the box office.
Let's talk. We got about 4 minutes here before we have to break at the top of the hour. We've got basketball tonight. It's Jackson State. I gave my little rundown on Jackson State at the beginning of the show. I think they're a little bit better than South Carolina State, but it's another game where you feel like Louisville should be able to kind of name the score tonight. It's being used for us, not for them. They're focused on the next thing. It's Pat Kelsey's deal. But it's kind of like the final dress rehearsal for the Kentucky game. If you're assuming we're going to win handily, and you take that out of the equation, what do you want to see most from this team on night 2 of the regular season?
Honestly, I mean, there wasn't a whole lot to complain about for game 1, so I just want to see the exact same intensity. I think everyone wants to maybe see a little bit more from our bigs offensively, but I just don't know if that's really, I mean, we're not going to be a team that like throws it down on the block and like lets our bigs go to work. But it would be nice every once in a while to see like, hey, can one of these guys like throw a post move and score with their back to the basket?
Just a quick half spin, little hook.
Yeah.
I'm not asking you to go to work.
Yeah, exactly. But, and I don't mean to say anything disparagingly about Jackson State. I don't think we're going to get really anything out of this game, just like I don't think we got really anything out of last game besides, guys getting their confidence up. And it was nice to see Michael kind of, I guess, last game control the game from the tip, like make sure people get involved before he got his. Michael's going to be the key to our season. Like if he figures out like how can I get every single guy involved before I get my own game going, and then him stepping up in the games that he needs to step up, like I think we're going to be fine. But it's going to take a little bit of time for him to figure that out.
I'm sorry, I'm looking at Corey Price's trivia. He's got Louisville trivia on here because he doesn't do his segment before the Louisville game. It still feels insane that the game's 5 days away. I'm going to ask you really quickly. This shocked me. What Kentucky player has the most points in a single game against Louisville at the KFC Yum Center? Roman, do you both can guess.
Kentucky player with the most points at Yum Center.
Against Louisville.
Is it like Emmanuel Quickly?
It's not Emmanuel Quickly. It's a player that I think...
You said it shocked you, so like the guys, I'm thinking of like Tony Delk. Like that's obviously not going to shock anyone.
Tony Delk didn't play at the Yum Center either.
Oh, the Yum Center. I
Yum Center,
apologize. Is it Harrelson?
That's what I would have said. It's not. I think that we all just, because we repressed this game, Antonio Reeves in 2023 scored 30. He dropped 30 on the... Like, I've got no recollection of that whatsoever because none of us cared about the game at all.
I've been Men in Blacked from 2023. I don't remember a thing.
You could have told me he scored 62, and I'd be like, damn, I don't remember that at all. Or that he scored 3, and I would have had no idea which was more true.
I sent you the text last night. Like, someone tweeted out, like, oh, it's our old friend Devin Ree. And I was like, who is this? Like, I've never seen this man. There's no way this guy played for the University of Louisville.
It was all a dream.
Yeah.
All right, we got to go to break. When we come back, more with Dan Snar. We'll take text on the Game Day Men's Health text line, 502-414-1450.
To your melon, when the plasma is oozing out of your cerebellum.
There we go. We're never scared. 4 o'clock hour here, the Mike Rutherford Show, presented by United Mechanical and Nexus Plus. God, excuse me.
He's back.
Nexus Plus, Louisville's newest construction management company. Shout out to our guy, John Burke, and United Mechanical. They are Louisville's trusted partner for commercial and industrial HVAC, electrical, plumbing, and refrigeration services. Give them a call any hour, any day, 502-339-1133. Corey's there to answer the phones. You can also visit them online at UnitedMechanicalInc.com. Game day edition of the Rutherford Show rolling on here on the Big X. Mike Rutherford with Danny Sennard, podcast legend in studio. Roman Kelly here as well, producing the absolute hell out of this show. Talked a little football. We're not worried about the moving truck now. We've calmed down. The moving truck, it's just a random truck. It's a random dude moving to the city of Louisville. Nothing is bleeped here, dude. Josh, let's get this done. The sooner we get this contract extension done, the sooner we don't have to deal with this. No weird stuff going on out there. We talked basketball tonight. Cards taking on Jackson State in about 3 hours. You'll have pregame coverage on our sister station, 970 WGTK, kicking off at 5:30. Roman, are you still doing ticket punchers today?
I don't know. I'm got to figure that out still. I believe so.
Potentially ticket punchers here from 5:30 to 6. But if they're not, then you can flip over to 970 and listen to the pros do their pregame show from 5:30. Tip-off at 7 o'clock tonight. It is the only internet streaming game of the season on TV. If you can't get your Watch ESPN app to work, if you can't get ACC Network Extra to work, I know they're the same thing, you can always listen to the game on 970 WGTK. All right, we've talked a lot of basketball, a lot of football. I mean, Kentucky fans are just blowing me up with this, like, believing that it's Jeff Brom leaving. Wishful thinking.
How funny would it be if, like, we had just to kind of throw the other fan bases off, like a Jeff Braun moving company truck.
Cardinal moving.
Yeah, well, and just slap, like, Jeff Brom's face on the back, like, in Gainesville, just dropping off a couch.
I do love that apparently the Navy football truck has been parked up at L&N Stadium today. People are like, what the hell is going on with Navy? I'm told that they were making the trek back from their game against North Texas and stopped here. I don't know how that works. The game was like 5 days ago. I don't know if that's accurate. I don't know what's going on. Football truck convention, who the hell knows?
I'm scared.
Game Day Men's Health text line, though, they're never scared. 502-414-1450 is the number there. Reminder, Game Day Men's Health, redefining men's wellness, no shortcuts, just results, testosterone, peptides, weight loss, and sexual performance therapy. If you've got needs in any of these areas, visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com today and find out how they're defining a new era in men's health. We have a million texts to get to. Let's go for this. We'll take some of the more recent ones because they're all reacting to Danny being on the show. Texter says, Boney Dumper texted in, the Boney Dumper. Is that the podcast Dan? I can hear my elderly father in Florida becoming erect from here. Dads love Dan.
It's like he's in Del Boca Vista.
Did I tell you? I think I told you, though, our old intern, Jenna, who had, she's got, I think, a 1-year-old baby girl. She says she always tries to listen to our podcast in the car, and the baby starts crying whenever you talk.
I'm aware of the story.
Babies hate Dan. Dads love Dan.
I've had this touch since, like, a young age. Kids have hated me from a very young age. So, like, even my own kids, they like, I'm like, hey, like, Lila, I'm taking you to swim practice. She's like, no, Mom's taking me. I'm like, okay, well, yeah. Here we are.
My favorite thing is when you tell, when your son Cam, when he's got a big baseball game or a basketball game, and you tell him that he has to miss it, and he's like, yes.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure. Well, not really, like, practices they obviously can't stand, but, yeah, I mean, there's just, if I'm out of town, like, for a baseball game, he gets so excited. He's like, yes, Dad's not going to be there. I'm like, I'm still going to watch on the screen, on my phone.
It's like, that's secretly kind of how I used to feel when my dad couldn't go to games.
Oh, yeah.
I would have never let him know that. I would have been terrified for him to find that out.
The thing is, I agree with him. Like, I'm kind of psychotic, so I don't blame him at all.
You also perform better when your parents aren't there.
Oh,
a lot of times.
No doubt. Yep, for sure.
Texas Radio Dan sounds like a mellow, smooth talking NPR host compared to Podcast Dan. Podcast Dan sounds like he's 4 Coors deep and he's screaming into a tin can on a string straight into the passenger window of my Mazda. This is nice.
Yeah, I'm basically the male version of Delilah. There on the radio waves.
There's a lot of people talking about how different you sound on the radio compared to the podcast. And it's probably because you're actually talking into a microphone and not your 7-year-old phone or computer.
It's true. Yeah. No, I have the voice of an angel, but I hide it just so every once in a while people can hear it. But, yeah, we get a little loose on the podcast.
Texture says, the man, the myth, the legend, Slow Dan is in the house today.
Slow Dan. Jeez. That's tough to hear coming back here. St. Pius is right down the road. It's my old track stomping grounds that I ran one meet at. No, but
You remember the event you ran?
Look, we can talk about it if you want to talk about it. No. It's the 100-yard dash. I was in the first heat. Not a big deal. A lot of the fastest Catholic school kids in Louisville. Yes, I didn't finish in the top 3, but I was in the first heat. So, yeah, do with that information what you want. But, yeah, I'm sure as soon as I stepped back in the city, people were already talking about my athletic prowess from 2001 to 2003.
This became the talk of the town when you tried to claim on the podcast. So it all started with your son is very fast and very athletic, and your wife takes credit for it.
It's true.
And you're like, I used to be very fast as well. And I usually let you go when you do something. I had to cut. I was like, you've never been fast.
Okay.
And every single one of our friends agrees you've never been fast in your life. The only backup you've had has come from your little brother, who puts you in, I think, the top 20% at Trinity?
Okay, yeah. What's John Candy saying? Planes, trains, and automobiles. He's like, I'm an easy target. I get it. My friends, they want to jump on me a little bit.
I've never claimed that you weren't a good athlete growing up. You were good at a lot of things. Great basketball player. Never once in my life have I been like, Dan's one of the fastest people I know.
This is what I'll say. There's a difference between quickness and speed. I'm not.
Are you
quick.
calling yourself sneaky athletic on the radio?
I'm not quick. My shuttle time I would be kicked out of the NFL draft combine. It would be atrocious.
Obviously.
But if you get me going downhill, watch out. It can get pretty fun. So
it's not.
Yeah.
Never.
I know. Listen, it's fun to talk about. I will say there was maybe a 3 or 4 month period where I felt my physical attributes peaked, and maybe that's what I'm referring to, and that was probably more senior year in high school. But yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna remember me for being fast, or athletic. But we're here.
Texture says Dan sounds more intelligent in the studio. Maybe not intelligent, just more intelligent than usual. He's a good guy though.
It's I really should have brought a microphone to every college class. That would have helped a little bit.
Text am I hearing Danny Snar on the radio? I'd be honored if he would give me my drink numbers this week. Oh, okay.
Ooh.
So this is Drink Guy.
Okay.
Every single week, this guy, he asks us before how many drinks he needs to have to guarantee a victory. And it usually depends on the time of the game. And he goes out to the game early on. And we gave him 17 before the BC game or before the Miami game. And he ended up, we got a video of him. Where was it? Was it Glasgow? It was some rural Kentucky bar. He was line dancing and got all 17 drinks in. One of his friends hooked us up with this. Okay, so we have a 7 o'clock kickoff night game. We're in the thick of the playoff race. He's got to at least be somewhat coherent for this game. How many drinks does Drinks Guy needs to have on Saturday?
All right, so he obeys whatever you guys tell him. So 17
he says so.
Take. Okay. And he doesn't go to the games. He watches them from home.
He goes to some of the games.
Okay, gotcha. I'll say if he's in person.
It was Glasgow, Scotland, where he was dancing. Very different than Glasgow, Kentucky.
Oh, okay.
Anyways.
Yeah. Well, Glasgow, Scotland, put it at 35.
He's also confirmed he'll be tailgating this week.
Okay, gotcha. Being at the game, going into the game, I feel like you got to throw a 2 in front, so I'll say 21.
21?
21,
He's
yeah.
gonna kill this guy?
He's fine.
He's 34.
If he's asking you to tell him how many drinks, I promise you he can handle it.
Usually we say 10 for a big game.
Whatever amount short he is.
This is Dan.
I was gonna say, send me a tweet. I'll make up the difference. I'll send out a video of each drink and make sure we get to 21.
All right. Well, this is Dan's call. Drinks Guy 21 for Saturday.
He's like, I'm at 1. I had a medical emergency. I'm at my kid's soccer game.
He just responded with, "Bro, I'm gonna die."
Yeah.
You're trying to kill Drinks Guy.
All right, listen. I said I'd make up the difference. Do the best you can.
By the way, we are, according to Roman, so we're gonna the last half hour of today's show will be simulcasting over there on 970. So we will be a part of the pregame show for Jackson State, which is terrifying with Danny. It's always terrifying when they put us on as part of the official pregame show. When you've got Danny in here for this, then yeah, it's especially terrifying. Drinks Guy says Danny's about to drink 10 beers with me on Saturday. Laughy, crying emoji.
Yeah, I mean, if we're going to the pregame, I don't want Paul Rogers hearing me count how many drinks I have Saturday, but
Roman points out via text, so Kason Pryor has posted yet another vague Instagram story. It's him appearing to walk into the light from out of the shadows with "Are you ready?" ? Now, normally I would look at this. I'll show you the picture, Dan. We'll
okay.
put it up for the YouTube stream. There you go.
Very
YouTube stream.
Very Halloween mysterious like.
Now, normally I would look at this and say, oh, well, we're getting Kason Pryor today. He's going to play. He's done this for every game. There's been some sort of, before the game on Monday, he had a picture of himself warming up and then did the classic eyeball emojis right there with it. And people are like, ooh, he's going to play. I've got no idea if this means anything. No idea if we're going to see him. If he's at all close to being ready to play any minutes against Kentucky, that can't be your debut.
No.
We need you to get at least a little bit of dip a toe in the water before you just dive in. We need him to at least get his feet wet tonight, if that's a possibility. So if it's not, I don't want him making his debut against Kentucky.
I'm trying to think back to last year how Pat Kelsey handled injuries and incorporating guys that were out back into play. Oh gosh,
Traore, he brought along slowly.
Larman threw out there, didn't even let him.
With Noah's like, hey man, sorry, you got to play. We got 5 other guys hurt.
Right.
Yeah. I don't care if your thumb's broken. We don't need you shooting, but get out there and do some stuff.
Get the nails in the thumb and get out there.
By the way, we're moving you to the 5. Go out there and do your best.
Yeah, Rain, he stuck out in the. I mean, it wasn't his fault. He had to put him in.
To play through it.
For the Creighton game, but
Chucky set out one game.
Chucky did sit out a game and then came right back and was used.
Traore's kind of who I'm thinking of. It took him a little bit, and then I think he had the breakout game at Virginia, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like you said, I'd like to get his feet wet a little bit. He seems like someone that is a field player. He shoots a lot of outside shots. So that's tough, man. That's tough to really, like Pat Kelsey said, you kind of got to trust it. And I'm sure that takes time, and hopefully, going full speed or doing whatever he needs to in practice kind of takes the training wheels off once he gets into the game.
I feel like Kason, he probably takes the UK thing more seriously than anybody. He feels like he missed it last year. He kind of missed getting mixed up on the bench and all that stuff. If he plays for the first time in basically a year in the Kentucky game, I don't know what he's going to do.
That might be too much.
It's a terrifying thought. Yeah. It could be the best thing that ever happened. He could go out there and rip it up and go nuts and drive them crazy, or he could cost us the game.
Yeah.
I don't want it. I don't want the first test run with new Kason coming in the UK game.
I know. I feel like we were just getting a taste of the full Kason Pryor package, prior to him getting injured. Because the first couple games.
You felt like we were getting the first taste of the Kason Pryor package.
Pause.
But I was doing well until I heard Roman giggle.
God.
And then I couldn't hold it in.
No, that's a good one.
No, you deserve to laugh. That should have been laughed at.
But no, it's like a combination of everything he does on the court, plus I don't want to call him antics, but just kind of the stuff that he brings with it. And obviously, the Tennessee game we get blown out. So when he's going around mean mugging people with a dunk down 20, we were like, I don't know about this. But then obviously his play picked up. We were in the Bahamas, and you're like, oh my God, this is great. I love it. So it's a shame that he went down when he did. But I think we'll see him fully healthy here sooner rather than later. But I'm excited for the full. I can't even say I'm the full Pryor experience. Oh boy.
Texter says, watching on YouTube, Mike, your hoodie's sweet. Go Cards. Thank you. Duncan Cardinalberg. Appreciate it. Text, hi, Mike and Dan. Newport, Rhode Island Tom here. What's up, Newport, Rhode Island Tom? Will Dan coin the phrase, you big silly man, about Pat Kelsey this season, Or is this only reserved for our buddy Ron English?
Oh, no. That's totally a Ron English. He has a patent on it. I mean, I can't believe what a 180 I've done in a year. And credit to him, man. Like, every time the defense is out there, I feel so much more calmer with the defense out there than the offense.
Feels good to say that.
Yeah. It really does. So, like, how awesome is it? And I know we're kind of shifting gears from basketball here, so I won't go too far down the road.
That's what the text line does. We're all over
Okay.
the place.
But, like, how awesome is it to have a good defense? Like, the Charlie Strong years were amazing because, like, especially, like, up the middle on defense. When you have, like, guys that can stop the run, like, it just makes everything so much better. Like, we can get after the passer. When you're leading the game, you feel a lot better. It's great. I'm really enjoying watching that side of the ball this year.
I think that the unsung heroes of the defense, because Clev's obviously gotten a lot of attention. The linebackers have gotten a lot of attention. The guys picking off passes have gotten a lot of attention. Rene Conga.
Yeah, him and Gerard, they've been.
Yeah, you don't recognize it because our defense isn't designed for them to put up big-time numbers. But the push that they get up front to help slow down the running game, every single week you look at the Pro Football Focus numbers, and I know people take those for what they're worth, but Conga every week is like a 93.2. Like, he's a pro football, he's an analytic All-American. That dude's a beast.
Yeah.
He's been incredible all year.
Every time I see those guys, I think of like Sheldon Rankins and like what Charlie saw. He's like, and Roy Fallon.
Got to pack your defense, got to pack your offense. Yeah.
Oh, man. Those guys were awesome.
Conga's done a great job of containing quarterbacks, too, I feel like. He's, like, shedding the guy in front of him when the quarterback does move out of the pocket and keep them contained. For a big guy, to see him consistently do that is a positive sign as well.
Texture says, Dan, exclamation points, I got nipples. Pick up basketball reference. That was someone's first text into the show in 9 months. Someone that hasn't texted in since March, getting ready for the NCAA tournament, but they had to make the I got nipples joke from when you played pickup basketball and your nips were showing a little too much.
Oh, gotcha. I thought at first I was like, did I say that? Or was that a basketball reference?
No, that was, you told the story about trying to play pickup basketball in Columbus.
Yes.
And you had a very tight shirt on.
Yeah.
And I think you were the only white guy playing, and one of the guys was like, I got nipples.
Yeah.
And then kind of took you to town.
100%. Yeah. A lot of my shirts are tight these days, so
You and me both.
Yeah, no, like I said, I unfortunately had to go to like a funeral wake today. I didn't want to wake up the kids, so I like put all my clothes like in the bedroom this morning and like got dressed. I couldn't like go back into my room because my daughter had gone in there and she was sleeping. And I like go to put my pants on. I'm like, oh boy, we're gonna have to really gut this one out today. No pun intended.
When you get to the new season of clothes, where you're like, all right, winter clothes.
Yeah.
What do we got here that we can work with this year? It's a terrible feeling. If I had to take this hoodie off right now, the undershirt it would not be a pretty picture.
Yeah, no, for
We're
sure.
muffin topping a little bit. It's bad.
Yep, no, I'm in the same boat. We're out here.
Texture says, Dan, I don't know what your day job is, but please just quit and be on the show every day. You could even change it to the Danny Sennard show. Man sells pipe.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Literally.
Yeah, literally sell pipe.
If you need pipe,
Yeah,
you know who to call.
we'll lay it.
Texter says, this is Dave, our teacher from Jeffersonville. Let's see here. The football pep talk at 5:06 yesterday was amazing. Let's go. Let's glaze. Also, serious time and hot take. I like the early B-ball game against Kentucky. More national interest, more fan engagement, and over-the-moon optimism. I just wish it was a little bit closer to Thanksgiving, maybe November 11th or something. Well, it is November 11th. That's the day. But I'm cool with it. Early B-ball game referring to the UK game. Text number 2, is Dan even allowed in the studio? Who would win, Mike and Danny versus Roman and that guy who wants to beat up Mike? Also, give me a drink number 2. I promise to make it to halftime. We don't talk about the BC game anymore. We told Dave drank so much during the game a couple weeks ago, he didn't make it to halftime.
Yeah, Dave, you got to.
Dave, your drink number's like 4.
Who's the guy that wants to beat you up?
Well, there's
Like this occasional listener.
I was gonna say, I know it's a long line, but who are we talking about?
so there's a listener who, I don't even know how this came. It was like a month ago. We were at Salsaritas, for God's sake. My life threatened Salsaritas. This guy who texts into the show all the time is like, you missed this show from June, this text from June, and I'm resending it now. Gave no explanation for, and it was all about the listener is black, and he was like, my wife already can't believe why I listen to these white guys in Rome and talk about sports all the time. And by the way, Mike, one of my friends wants to just absolutely whoop your ass. He hates you. He says if he ever sees you, it's on sight. Gave no reason for it whatsoever. I was completely distracted for the rest of the show. He's like, you think bleep sweet, and this guy just wants to take you out. I was like, okay, no idea why. I've never done anything to him.
You're like, I'd go with the chicken bowl if I were you. It's pretty good here.
Yeah. Quesarito is delicious. So, yeah, I don't know why, but anyways, no idea why that happened. Dave,
I do feel like if I was on a daily radio show, I would say, well, first off, I'd say numerous dumb stuff. I probably wouldn't make it more than 3 months, but I could see myself making many enemies to where, and then I would handle it exactly. I'd like call them out by name and it would all be bad. So
it's impossible not to make enemies when you talk this much on the radio.
Yeah.
There are going to be people that just don't like you.
Yeah.
It happens.
It's impossible to not find their names.
Danny would be like I'd be like texting you like late at night. You're like, yeah, I'm going all in trying to find this guy's address. Like you'd be just looking up people because one guy said he didn't like your hair or something.
Yeah. No,
who would ever say that?
I mean, Mike can attest to this. When I don't like someone, I will let Mike know off to the side. Like last night, there's someone that we're affiliated with that thinks their kids like are going straight to the NBA, and like he literally put out a message on Facebook.
First of all, he's a former NFL player.
He's a former NFL player, but just the way he handles his kids drives me crazy. And he's like, my God, please stop contacting me and my kids. Like they already have an agent, and his kids are a junior and freshman in high school. I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I'm gonna snap.
I could tell you were just like drinking or something. Yeah. You're, out of nowhere, I'm watching like basketball outside after getting the kids down to sleep. You're like, I wish you could see how big of a loser this person is on Facebook. And I was like, well, I can't. I don't know what you want me to say. Texas, this is Drinks Guy's wife, 21. You all are nuts. Drinks Guy's wife also did send in the video of him dancing at the end a couple of months ago. What were we talking about 3 months, a year ago, that Drinks Guy's wife was sending in a picture of a rabbit eating a bunch of stuff? Who knows what was happening, but there was apparently a bunny conversation on the show. Apologies to Drinks Guy's wife. Let the record show this is not coming from me. It's not coming from Roman. It's from guest co-host Danny Sennard. That's on him. Texas, is Danny in the Ville all weekend?
No, Dan's going back tomorrow. Back on dad duty. Wife is attending a wine night Friday night, and I have to get the kids or my daughter to soccer. Literally a 7:30 a.m. soccer game Saturday morning. I know, outside. So this is what we do. It's the life I signed up for. So we're all good.
It's the life I signed up for. Texas, I'm watching the show on YouTube. Seeing Dan for the first time, he looks nothing like he sounds. I envisioned him looking like Stu from The Hangover.
I feel like I've gotten like actual couple Stu references.
This is one of those things where like I used to get this all the time because for forever, most people just knew me from the website, and there weren't that many pictures of me out there. So there was this big thing where people would meet you and be like, "You don't look like." And of course, like everyone has this vision when they're reading you or listening to you of what you look like. And if you don't have any clue and you see them for the first time, it's like 95% that they're not going to look anything like what you've envisioned. So
I bet they looked at me and they're like, you know what, that guy probably is pretty fast.
I don't know. Texas, Dan's wondering why kids hate, while just a few hours ago he was caught trying to change clothes in front of a busload of school children.
It was a wagon, okay?
Texas says, I'm blown away that Dan doesn't actually have a lisp. Someone's first text since last summer.
Yeah, no, I could see how that comes off, the children comment, but
you tried 2 different phones last week, or 2 different apps last week, and you were like, is the lisp still there? And I was like, I think it's worse this time, but we just got to record it. So yeah. That's
when my mom heard the podcast with me with the lisp for the first time, and she was trying to tell me about it, she was laughing so hard she couldn't even get through the. She's like, I don't know what you sounded like, but yeah, it was.
You sounded on the last one. You legit sounded like Daffy Duck.
Yeah, I know, it's rough.
Just gotta run the football. I was like, what is happening? Dave Teacher from Jeffersonville now says 14 noons. I'll do it. I'll spread them out better this time. No, 4, Dave. 4. You're not drinking 14 anything. We're doing this for your safety. Boxcar Bob says, Obviously, as a pipe, Danny is going to as an experienced pipe salesman, Danny is going to take notice of Pryor's package.
Well, that was an A+ joke. I got to applaud that one. That was a good one. Yeah, I could see like throughout the day how many sentences you say. Like you could say the pause or clip that or whatnot at about 90% of things. I feel like
the entendre gets laid on thick on this show. It's been over the years. We've had some bad ones.
That's a big word.
Yeah. Texas, can we get Dan's thoughts on J.J. McCarthy?
I was looking at the Brett Favre picture up here, and I was like, when are we going to bring this up? So I guess we can.
You've only got 30 seconds. This is what it's here for. Legitimately 30 seconds. You can talk more about it after the break if you want to, but you've got 30 seconds.
I'll answer the J.J. McCarthy portion. He's 2-1 as a starter. He's over 500. So all the haters, they can sit back down for now. And we got Lamar this week, so we'll see what happens.
I can't even say like he sucks because he just beat us. It's the worst feeling. I hate this so much. More J.J. McCarthy thoughts after the break. Get back to you guys on the Game Day Men's Health text line as well, 502-414-1450. Hour number 3 is up next. We're ready here. Keep it locked. 1450-96.1 Big X Sports Radio. Season the Cards will host Jackson State tonight at 7 o'clock. ACC Network Extra, only streaming game of the season. Don't get freaked out. If you get frustrated tonight, just know that this will pass. Every other game this season is on a national network or at least a normal TV station, which is great news, except for maybe you people with YouTube TV. We're still struggling a little bit right now. We've got Danny Sennard in studio. Roman Kelly is here, as always. Before we get back to the Game Day Men's Health text line, I want to remind you guys again, if you've been hurt in an accident or on the job, The Collier Law Firm, they got your back, not your wallet, which is why their attorney fees start at just 25%. Tony Collier and the crew, lifelong Louisville fans, lifelong Louisvillians, they know what this community is all about. They're not posing. They're not, living in Florida and just trying to make a quick buck. They've been here doing this thing for over a decade now, and they've been doing it well. Give them a call at 502-736-8141. You can also visit them online at collierlawfirm.com, COLYER lawfirm.com. Hurt in an accident, hurt on the job, Collier Law Firm. Louisville, again, Jackson State tonight. We'll have coverage. We'll actually be part of the pregame coverage starting at 5, and then 5:30 we'll have the official pregame starting over at 970 WGTK. Louisville 38.5-point favorites in this game. Large number.
That is a lot.
Large number. Dan Snard is here. Game Day Mentel text line has been blowing up about Dan sounding differently on the show than he does on the podcast. Hit us up at 502-414-1450 if you've got thoughts. Texas Red Rocks guy. What's up, Red Rocks guy? This is our friend who works at Red Rocks.
Oh, that's awesome.
Out there in Colorado. Says, I'm dying at this trio in studio today. It's a good trio. If we can just get to, if Dan hadn't been so selfish and moved away a few years ago.
I might have to get Red Rocks guys digits. I'm like dying to see a My Morning Jacket show out there at some point. So,
well, remember he was going to hook us up for your brother's bachelor party for the Rolling Stones concert.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
then they canceled the concert like right before we were getting ready to leave.
Yeah.
My Morning Jack was my first ever concert.
Roman's first ever
7-year-old Roman.
Nice.
Roman's dad, a.k.a. Cool Dad.
Who was your first concert? Mine was Hootie and the Blowfish.
I mean, it may have been O-Town at Kings Island. We went to Kings Island for just fun, and then O-Town was playing a concert, and we stayed there. I don't know if I'd been to a concert before then.
I gotcha. Yeah. Shout out Joey McConnell. Took me in, I want to say it was like 6th or 7th grade. It's probably
Joey McConnell's not listening to this show.
Yeah,
I can just about guarantee it.
Probably too young for a Hootie concert. Maybe not. I don't know.
Texture says, is Danville all weekend? No, he's not, unfortunately. Also, can we get a discussion on the Reds freeing up money for Schwarber?
That is not going to happen.
We declined all the options. I mentioned this on the show yesterday. I gave myself 30 seconds. No Barlow, no Suter, no Hayes. Is that money going to Kyle Schwarber?
Absolutely not. We're going to sign some 33-year-old utility player that plays 5 positions, that hits 235 with 9 home runs and has injury history. Yeah, this is what we do. The payroll, 30. Nick Kroll already came out. I mean, does any other team's GM come out and announce
we're not spending more
literally,
money?
They say it every year. I'm like, can you at least just tease me and maybe we can dream that we're going to spend more? But he immediately comes out. He's like, yeah, we're not going to spend any more.
Just don't say it out loud.
Yeah, seriously. I'm like, don't just let me have some hope at least. So
I love the post. Was it yesterday that it was like bet online odds for Schwarber, and Cincinnati was the favorite at 5-2. Every single comment was just a Reds fan being like, you've got no idea about any way that this organization operates. There's a 98% chance we're not getting Kyle Schwarber.
So actually, kind of breaking news for you. So the UVL UK game next Tuesday.
Okay.
My watch situation is very up in the air. So this is actually pretty cool, but as far as watching the game, I don't know what we're going to do. So my grandpa, the one that worked for the Reds, rest in peace, but he is getting a plaque up in Cooperstown. So he's not being, I don't want to be like, oh, he's getting elected into the Hall of Fame or anything like that. He's not, but there's him and 5 other equipment managers are getting a plaque, and the Bart Giamatti, the old MLB commissioner library that's connected to Cooperstown. So my family and some of my cousins and aunt and uncles are going up for this ceremony, and I'm flying in, and I get in to Cooperstown probably at 7 at night. So I'm going to be watching the game at some random bar in Cooperstown, New York. Should be interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pretty good
cool,
excuse though.
Yeah, no,
very cool moment.
Yeah, for sure. We're excited about it. It should be neat. I've never been to the Baseball Hall of Fame. It's one of the things I've wanted to do most is tour it. So very excited about that. But yeah, Cooperstown is not ready for what they're about to see. I can tell you that. It's going to be Old Dan is going to be a little tense at 8 p.m. next Tuesday.
Louisville podcast host smashes exhibits at Cooperstown Hall of Fame.
It's like, sir, we're going to ask you not to come to the ceremony tomorrow.
You get uninvited.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm just now seeing this video. Roman, have you seen the Zach Calzada video?
I was going to wait to bring this up.
Okay.
Zach Calzada, money spreading on the internet, Mike.
So I can't hear what he's saying. I'm told that Zach Calzada,
Get you some money, Garrett.
The benched UK quarterback who got benched for our boy Cutter Boley. Come on. He has put a video out there, I guess, kind of responding to people who are like, you suck at football. I can't believe. He's got like a stack of lots of $100 bills. He's showing them to the camera. He's laying them out and spreading them around the floor. What do we make of this?
This is absolutely ridiculous.
This is insane.
And
several $1,000s.
What possesses you to make a video like this? Like, where do you think this is going to lead you?
Not back on the field.
I'm going to guess Mark Stoops' office. That's where I'm guessing.
I don't think he cares at this point. He's like, you want to fire me? All right. He's not playing anymore.
He's going to go in there and spread the money on his arm in front of Mark Stoops in the office.
He got paid thousands of dollars to go in there and suck for 3 games and then sit on the bench for the rest of the year.
Now he's flexing.
Not a bad deal.
Who's more likely, like if we had this NIL and let's say one of us made, college and we got this, like who's more likely to do antics like this, me or you?
You.
I think you're right.
100%.
There's no doubt.
Without question.
Yep. Just want to get that out of the way.
Do you guys have a buddy that would be more likely than either one of you are?
Yeah. I don't know. Dan, nowadays kids have highlight videos and they have their own graphics in high school and stuff like that. Dan would have been so much about that back in the day.
I think about it all the time. I'm like, these kids, like, if I had like a, infield hit to third base, I'd have like Eminem music blasting as I'm like beating out a grounder to third.
Contact info.
Yeah.
Jabalis09 at AOL.com.
Yeah.
Please hit me up anyway. Cell phone. NCAA ID.
Yeah, these people have no clue how awesome it is that they can just make it.
7th grade C team players have their own banners at St. Albert's gym and stuff. I'm like, I would have killed for this back in the day.
Yeah.
It would have been incredible. Texter says, Dan, why did you just clarify that it was a wagon and not a school bus? That does not improve the situation at all.
I don't know. I've already lost at this point, so it was a mistake. It was either do it in an empty parking lot or do it at the Thorntons next door. I don't know. This is coming off very bad over the radio airwaves.
Texter, has Dan ever actually hit a nail right on the head? Is one of your favorite sayings.
Yeah.
You hit the nail on the head.
I don't use hammers, so let's get that out of the way. I don't use tools. Every time my dad comes in town, he's my handyman. Love you, Dad. But, I don't use tools.
Texture says, is the lisp just a thing that Dan does for the C-Bus dads?
That's actually hilarious. That might be my favorite text thus far.
Texas, by the way, Cooperstown has some good breweries and bars. I ended up there randomly once, and I had a good time. Are we going to get a radio pod crossover Dan in the Dumps? We kind of did at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's children out there.
All right, we skipped ahead on the text line to get some Dan stuff. Let's go back to the early text and see what people have to talk about. Texter says, this is Roman Hater. Responding to Boney Dumper's text yesterday, no wonder Will Smith's now wife wouldn't go out with you. Not only for your stupid name, but also because you're the reason why they put instructions on the shampoo bottles, and you're probably from LaRue County, too. Aggressive text from Roman Hater. What's the alert thing?
It's like, I'll hide under the desk.
Oh, 911 lines have been restored.
Oh, okay.
Good
to know.
We're good to go there. Yeah, we have a texter who apparently was supposed to go out with this girl, was going to date her, and then she kind of ditched him for Will Smith.
Gotcha.
Which I think probably ended up working out well.
I mean, the Will Smith thing is truly unbelievable. Like, I know you've probably talked about it, and so I don't want to overhash it, but he could legit go down as maybe a top 2 or 3 Louisville athlete. Like, when you look back in 45 years, like that's what they're going to remember is that home run.
And we thought he was going to be like the 5th or 6th, maybe best pro on that team.
Yes.
At that time, Corey Ray's a top 5 pick. Brendan McKay's going number 2 overall, and and when Will got drafted, I remember he was like a second round or late first, or they do the weird double first round, and I was like, really? It was like, okay, he's good, but I'm kind of surprised, and he's been he's on pace to be the best MLB player we've ever had.
He's like legit the leader on the team with Freddie Freeman and Shohei Ohtani and Mookie Betts.
Yeah.
Like, unbelievable.
The other night, I'm outside watching basketball. Mary's inside watching Dancing with the Stars, and she's like, Will Smith's at Dancing with the Stars. I was like, what is happening right now?
He was at the Lakers game last night.
Is he at the Lakers game last night?
Yeah. Well, him, Glassnow, Blake Snell, a handful of the guys were.
Can you imagine?
Mookie.
The bar couldn't be higher for any KCD Bearcat athlete that's trying to compete with Will Smith.
Yeah.
KCD's won like 20 baseball games in their program history, and they've produced a baseball player that hit one of the most iconic home runs in World Series history.
Truly unbelievable.
It's insane. Also, bleep LaRue County. They're going down in the playoffs. I feel it. Texas Lazard guy here. What's up, Lazard guy? We get our first ACC blowout this week. JKS will be a great player in the future, but he struggled a bit playing against the best defenses on his schedule. He had 2 INTs against San Diego State, 3 INTs against Duke, and 2 INTs against Virginia. Cards 38-13.
Love it, Lazar guy.
I hope you're right.
Can we talk about last game we had? So, like, I always thought it was, like, Holloway, Jabari Mack, like, and obviously JoJo Evans in the back. And then, like, last week, out of nowhere,
Justin
Agoo. I was like, I had to, like, text you. I was like, who is 13? Like, am I not caught up on the roster here?
Well, look, the fact that we noticed him was not a good thing for Justin, because both times it was him running up the sidelines with the guy he was supposed to be covering 30 yards behind him. That wasn't ideal.
Yeah.
He was out there. Who was it? JoJo Evans, I think, had gotten a little bit banged up.
Okay.
And Ronnie Johnson also has been a little bit banged up. You notice we didn't see much of Justin after the second play where he got burned. But I think you should be all good this week. Tayon Holloway's been really good for us. I saw he ranks in the top 6 in some sort of like least yards given up per target. He's been really good. Jabari Mack's been fantastic.
Jabari Mack's been unbelievable.
Been
he
terrific.
Really has.
Hutch has been great outside of not being able to catch an interception in one game.
That's all right.
And then JoJo Evans has been pretty good. Corey Gordon, I think, was also a little bit banged up last week. He's been banged up for a while. We'll get the full injury report tonight. We love Corey Gordon on the show. Injury report coming out at 8 o'clock tonight. I mean, do we have a prediction? I assume with Jeff saying at the beginning of the week that we're hoping to get Duke Watson ready to go, I assume
it should be probable.
At the worst, he'll be questionable, right?
Yeah.
If we just list him straight up as out, I'll be
surprised.
This feels weird. But we'll find out for sure.
I think Keyshawn will get a majority of the carries.
He won't. Not Keyshawn.
Oh,
Keywan.
Okay. Yeah, Keywan. Sorry, I'm thinking of Keyshawn Johnson.
Keon.
Yeah,
Keon.
Yeah, no, I see them kind of, I don't want to say easing Duke back, but I think, like you said, Keywan's in such a nice rhythm right now that I think they'll let him tote it early, and we'll kind of see where we're at once Duke gets on the field.
I've got another hot Jeff Brahma update here on the text line. Someone says, don't ask me how. I've got it on good authority. Jeff is currently adding on to his house. Not something you do if you're going to Penn State or Florida, in my opinion, so everyone can calm down. Look, I said, I went from 98% confident to like the fact that I was getting ghosted by the people that I needed to calm me down was making me nervous. Then I got the text at the beginning of the show. Took me back to, I'm 95% confident now. I'm back. I only got down to 90. I'm back to 95%. I think we're good. Texture says, hey, Mike, how would you rank the mid to low majors on our non-conference schedule? We know what we're getting with the big-name opponents, but where does Jackson State fit with South Carolina State, Ohio, Eastern Michigan, NJIT, and Montana? So we have a barometer of how to compare their quality over the next months.
Rank them, Mike.
Well, I mean, I think you've got 3 truly awful teams on your non-conference schedule I hate to say that we're about to play them. Jackson State's not. The MEAC and SWAC are bad. Like, these 2 teams will both be competitive in their conference. They should not be competitive against a team like us. And then I think NJIT, even though they beat Fordham on the road on opening night, that's not a team that should be competitive with us. I think Eastern Michigan, they looked good on night 1. They blew out somebody. Stan Heath's still the coach there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, they're not supposed to be very good, but I think they're better than those 3. So they're kind of in the middle there. And then Ohio and Montana should be legitimately quality major teams.
Back at Ohio?
No, Jeff Bowles is.
Okay, gotcha.
I don't know where John Gross ended up going. Bowles got the job. He's been there for a while now, and I think he's done a pretty good job. They should be pretty good this year. They lost their season opener, but they and Montana, who always has trouble scheduling teams because they're pretty tough, will be the best mid-majors on the schedule. But there's no – I'm trying to be nice. There's no mid-major that I think you would feel like we lost to them, but they could be a really good team that could go out there and beat a couple of teams in the NCAA tournament. There's not – we should handle all 6 of our mid-major teams.
That's good for what we have the rest of the non-conference. I'm totally fine that we don't have one that's like, ooh, they're kind of sneaky.
I love Big Sky basketball.
So, yeah, shout out Montana. But,
we love the Pros.
Yeah, it's, I think tonight, whatever. Like you said, this game, the team's not that good. I'm really glad that we got those exhibitions in against Kansas and Bucknell to kind of use those, plus kind of gain our confidence in this game. That's kind of what I'm using going into this UK game.
Texas, here's my wish list for things that I want to see tonight. 1, the same defensive intensity we showed against South Carolina State. I said the same thing. Totally agree. 2, Michael getting into the lane like 15-plus times. He should be able to score, kick it out, or toss up a lob at will. 3, if we can get a massive lead, I want to see the garbage time be the Kobe and Kenai show. I want Kenai to continue to be confident, and I want Kobe to maybe slow it down a bit and be in total control. And then 4, Kaysen. Unless they plan on keeping him out until like December, it's time to get some real game action.
I love all 4 of those. I think number 1 is crucial. I think this team, their defense is going to lead to their offense. And that sounds kind of corny, and you could say that about a lot of teams. But this isn't a team, especially with a young point guard like Michael, where I want to be taking the ball out of the basket and having to set up our offense.
Get it and go.
Exactly. I want turnovers. I want long rebounds to where we can let Michael get out in the open court and get, like you said, get in the lane, whatnot.
With you there, Danny.
I think that's where we'll see the most success.
PRTG guy said, among other things, Roman, how bad are you going to bleep your pants when the Lakers square off with the Pistons in the finals again?
That would blow my mind. That would be hard to believe. I would be a little bit worried.
Roman, are you an NBA guy? See, I'll be
a big NBA guy.
I'll be honest. I'm slacking in that department.
Big
Lakers
NBA
guy.
Big Lakers guy. Is he still unhappy?
Probably, but he can't be too unhappy.
Yeah, well, he's not. He's
7-2 right now.
He just doesn't seem like the guy that's going to accept that it's Luka's team.
I think
what
he knows
generic. Now. I don't watch the NBA.
My name's Skip Bayless.
How about that, LeBron? You sound like the cop in the Scotty Scheffler video where he's like, so is Tiger Woods as good as they say he is?
Listen.
That's you trying to talk NBA with Roman right now.
I'm not on the pod anymore. This is live radio, okay? I'm trying to fit in.
I feel like LeBron's smart enough to know he's at that point in his career now where he can't do it by himself. If he's the best player on the team, then that team's probably got a ceiling that isn't a finals contender. Luka does elevate with any position the Lakers can be in if LeBron's the best player. So I like to see that. I also think that he wanted AD to be the best player on this team for so many years, and that just wasn't happening. It wasn't consistently happening, and now he's got someone who can go out there and be the best player on the floor every night. Plus, he's got this disease or this sickness, or I don't know what you call this. I keep pronouncing it wrong. Sciatica.
Yeah.
I heard it's typically in the older guy range for
I think my wife had it.
Injuries. So
yeah.
I feel like that's got to be a reality check. Like, hey, you need Luka.
I love your NBA passion. Last NBA question: are the Bulls for real?
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh.
Offensively.
Okay.
It's the Austin Reeves era in Los Angeles, by the way. He's taking over.
Do love
It's Austin's
Reeves.
team.
He's
The
awesome.
Bulls are going to be good. I don't think they're going to. I mean, they're not going to be a top 2 seed,
Right.
I don't think. But they should be able to, if they can stay fully healthy. I love the young cats they have on that team.
NBA's better when the Bulls are better. I'm sorry. They just are.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Sorry, I'm getting work email from one of the other jobs.
Oh, no. Yeah.
I was hoping you guys were just going to go with like 10 seconds longer there on the NBA.
It's like, how's the Magic second quarter rotation?
Terrible.
I'm a Ryan Russillo guy, so I listen to him.
I
And
followed him recently.
He's huge.
I
in
like
the
his
NBA.
work.
Yeah, he buries himself in
that
the
I've been
basement
seeing
and
so
just
far. Yeah.
follows NBA religiously. So, but yeah.
Have you been to an NBA game before?
So
I didn't really need. I'm good now. By the way, you could answer the question.
I don't even know if Roman knows this. I was born in Chicago in 1985. And
how would Roman know that?
I don't know. And my dad, he got season tickets when like the Bulls, like basically before, like when the Bulls were like the cocaine Bulls, and season tickets were cheap. He split season tickets with people at his work. So I got to grow up, like my first games were DePaul games with like Mark Aguirre, and then like Bulls games. So like I have home videos of myself in like Jordan jerseys at age
really
like
cool.
3, 4. And then like it just turned out randomly, like I'd go to these Bulls games. I moved in 92, so it was after their first NBA championship, but I came here, and then I played basketball for Trinity, and our assistant coach is Will Perdue, who used to play for the Bulls, which I felt like life had come full circle then.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I got to go to my first NBA game last season. Lakers visiting the Pacers. Hopefully going to go to another one this season.
Riddler texted in, by the way. Riddler says, I support the Josh Hurd proposal to strong arm UK into an early November game every year if we beat those bums. But deep down, we all know he's too much of a visionless loser to make it happen. Riddler hates Josh Hurd.
Who hates Josh Hurd?
Riddler.
What are we doing?
Where's my lawsuit, Josh? Where's my swoosh? Where's my conference realignment? Cards win by 40 tonight. Book it. We all hate the early UK game, but my whole thing yesterday was if we win this game and win it like somewhat convincingly, we have to play it early November every year until we lose.
It's true.
It's got to happen. Because we haven't, I think Stallworth pointed this out in the text line yesterday. The last 4 times we've beaten Kentucky, it's all been by 3 points. Like
Okay.
We haven't kicked the crap out of Kentucky in a long, long time. I mean, hell, we don't really beat
Yeah, I was going to say.
it's baby steps. Let's win a couple, and then maybe we can talk about trying to win by a decent margin. Texas, I'm going to be placing a $100 happiness wager on UK money line for next week. I usually lose my bet, so either I'm going to make $100 or I'm going to be happy. I can't do the happiness hedge thing.
So I will say one of the parts I hate about the UK game being this early is I usually spend this month and a half before the game like scouting out who I really hate on the team. Like that's my favorite part about watching UK. It's like, all right, this guy I can't stand, this guy I can't stand. But
even know who to
right
hate
now
most.
I gotta like actually like dive in and read about these kids' high school careers and try to find any incriminating evidence that I can.
Yeah, I agree. It's time. Texas says, my favorite moments from Monday's show, Roman, quote, has Braum ever blown out an ACC opponent? Mike immediately names 2 off the top of his head. Mike, we lost to Bellarmine in KP season opener. Roman, they blew us out. Mike, well, we missed a shot at the buzzer. Roman on James Scott scoring first. Oh, yeah, we got the tip, right? Mike, we actually lost the tip. Recent Louisville Sports History 101 with Roman Kelly coming up next.
I knew it was a lob.
you did get the lob part of it.
I knew it was
correct.
a lob. I don't know why I thought we got to stop first.
Rome, I sympathize with you. I can't even. I think the best part about the pod is I can just say whatever, and I don't really get called out because until maybe like someone tweets it out or whatnot. Like you guys on this Thornton's text line, you guys are getting called out immediately.
Oh yeah,
so that's
great.
That's tough. Yeah,
We love it.
I just there's so many different details I'm ingesting with so many different sports over the last year that it's all jumbled up in there now.
Texas, did you hear the bad taker giver Eric McClain defend U of L and say we should be ranked 8th or 9th? How dare he hate on us? I think this is also it's a very Roman hater text because you took a shot at Eric. You said you didn't like Eric McClain, even though he tends to hype up Louisville pretty hard.
I'm still upset about the rankings. I know you said like it's the first one. They just put it out there like not to get wrapped up.
We talked about it yesterday. We got upset.
I'm still upset. The Notre Dame thing is just mind-boggling.
I do think it matters.
It totally matters.
It matters because they're setting it up so some of these teams that have 2 losses and are above us, if they win 2 of their last 3 games, they're going to justify putting them in above us if we go like 11-1 and get left out of the ACC title game or go 11-1 and lose in the ACC title game. They'll now say, well, Texas was ahead of them. They play – who do they play 2 top. I think Georgia and Texas A&M. If they win one of those games, they're in.
Yeah.
And I think if Notre Dame goes 10-2, they're going to get in despite having like 1 decent win at this point. And if Oklahoma wins two of their last 3, they're going to get in. They're setting it up so that they can absolutely avoid the catastrophe last year where two SEC teams that are 9-3 in Alabama and Ole Miss got left out for little brand programs like SMU and Indiana. They want to make sure as hell that doesn't happen again this year, and that's what those rankings were about.
You know who's grown on me just in the last 2 days? My man Rhett Lashley. The only guy out here fighting for the ACC. My God, like
came talking for the Cards yesterday.
We need mouthpieces for this conference. Like it's tough. Like,
we need mouthpieces, but also like some of them, like Narduzzi takes it too far to where it's not believable. Where he's like, I think our worst team would be first place in the SEC. And you're like, Pat, you're not doing this right. It's like the Office episode where they're all having fun with Michael on the conference call, and then Andy's like, I'm chopping Phyllis's head off with a chainsaw.
Yeah, no, 100%.
That's Narduzzi trying to take up for the ACC. But Rhett Lashley he's singled Louisville out specifically.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we can maybe find the audio, but he's like, if I'm Louisville, I'm furious that we're behind Notre Dame and we're behind Oklahoma. And you look at and he's like laying out the resumes. I'm like, all right, Rhett. I mean, do us a solid in a couple weeks
today.
and
I
let us
think
win.
Pro Football Focus put out their top 5 defenses, and like SMU wasn't even there. It was like us and I forget another ACC team. He's like 2 ACC teams. I'm like, keep it going, Rhett. Like whatever you want. Like
it's like also let us win.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I say that. I'm very scared of that game. Beyond scared.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, final segment of the day, we'll be simulcasting over on 970 WGTK, getting you ready for tip-off between Louisville and Jackson State. More text from you guys on the Game Day Men's Health text line at 502-414-1450, and then we'll make some predictions. Keep it locked right here to the Rutherford Show on the Big X. One more. There we go. 5 o'clock hour. Mike Rutherford Show, presented by United Mechanical and Nexus Plus. 1450, 96.1, and now 970 WGTK, the Big X Sports family of networks. It is another game day edition of the show. Louisville, Jackson State, 2 hours away from tip-off inside the KFC Yum Center as the 11th ranked Cards look to move to 2-0 on the young season. Louisville a 38.5-point favorite against former NBA legend Mo Williams and his squad. Mo Williams' son, Mike Williams, on the team. You'll see him.
Oh, wow.
I like that his son's a big-time recruit. He doesn't start him. And he's like, I'm not going to do the dad thing. He played him like 31 minutes off the bench in the first game. So it is what it is. Louisville, Jackson State, coming up here in about 2 hours. We'll have the official pregame show coming your way starting at 5:30. It's Mike Rutherford. Danny Snart in studio here. Roman Kelly, as always, getting you ready for tip-off between the Cards and the Tigers coming up here as Louisville looks to continue the good vibes of the early season and, maybe more importantly, get ready for next week's big showdown against Kentucky. So I watched the full Zach Calzada video during the break.
It's rough.
Former UK quarterback Zach Calzada. He's openly – somebody had apparently – the first response is from the guy Garrett that I guess prompted the video where he's like, all I said is you suck at football. And Zach Calzada is just like showing all his money. He's like, get your bands up, Zach. He's like, come on, Garrett. He's like, you keep it count. You keep it count. Also, very Noah Waterman in that does not sound at all like what I thought Zach Calzada was going to sound like. But, Kentucky football. This is who they are right now.
Who they've been.
It's who they've been. Game Day Men's Health text line is 502-414-1450. We're not going to have a chance to get to everybody's text because we have a ton. But we'll get to as many as we can, and then we'll make some predictions for tonight's game. Maybe some other things going on tonight in the world of football. We've got NFL tonight. We've got college football tonight. We've got the NFL game is Raiders-Broncos. Whatever. Doesn't demand your attention, I don't think, tonight. We'll see. Kickoff 8:15 on Prime Video. College football tonight, another light Thursday slate. We love American football. We love the Sun Belt. Georgia Southern's on the road taking on App State, and then UTSA is on the road taking on South Florida. A South Florida team that's still maybe an outside shot at making the college football playoff as the group of five representative.
It does feel like this year the Thursday slates have been ultra light.
Well, they refuse to compete with the NFL now.
Yeah.
I hate it. Thursday used to be a big college day, but,
Yeah, no, they're definitely, they kind of moved some of these games to Friday night. So
did you say the Memphis coach, is that official that the Memphis coach?
I saw, what's the guy from Yahoo, Ross Dellinger? Yeah.
Did he say that?
Unless sorry. First time breaking news on the on the live radio here, unless he deleted.
There was a fake tweet earlier today.
Okay, that could have been it.
Yeah, there was a fake tweet from somebody else saying that this was a done deal.
Yeah,
and that he was calling a team meeting. I can't imagine the Memphis coach is going to leave.
I was going to say I've been stooped.
Duped. Yeah.
We'll say stooped.
Stooped and duped.
Yeah.
I can't imagine a team that's in the playoff, if it started today, is going to lose their head coach with a month to go in the season. But couldn't happen to a better school if it did. I'm ready for the Memphis State hate coming up next month. It's going to be great.
Oh, yeah, that is going to be awesome.
It's going to be a lot of fun. I saw somebody posted a score of their women's team losing to it was like Florida Gulf Coast or something. I was like, oh, here we go. And then I realized it was a women's score, not a men's score.
I actually saw a blurb about Penny Hardaway after his first game. He's like, we just installed our defense this week.
Yes, he was like, and somebody was like, it's game week. What have you been doing for the last 6 months?
It's like you've literally had the entire summer to install all. I mean, I'm sure some of it was coach speak, but it was just hilarious.
Yeah. All right. Texter says 502-414-1450. Have you seen the Kason Pryor Instagram? Is it confirming that he's playing tonight? He's done this before every game. He's acting like he's been going to play before every single game, and then it just hasn't happened. So I don't know. I hope the "Are you ready?" with the eyeball emojis means he's going to see some run today.
Wearing the headband makes me think that Like, does he think he's going to play and he's just not getting his number called?
I think he's been wearing the headband on the bench the last couple of games.
Yeah, that's what I'm
hasn't
saying.
he?
Like, he thinks he's going to get in.
Me and you should start putting out like mysterious like tweets of us like with our phones like we're about to pod on a Monday and then just not do it until Friday like we usually do. Just see if we get the crowd riled up a little bit.
I think people expect that from us at this point.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's going to be shocked.
Nothing's happening today.
Texas Tampa card here. If you could have floor seats for any basketball this season, home or away, Kentucky excluded, which game would you pick? I mean, it would be kind of cool to have floor seats for a big-time away game.
Yeah.
I would probably want, the Duke home game.
Give me Arkansas.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah. I was gonna say Arkansas for sure.
Heckle Kenny the entire time.
Oh.
The entire time.
Yeah, I would not hold back. I would
You two combined would absolutely. I think you would try to make Kenny Payne cry if you went to that game.
yeah. And then as soon as he looked at me, I'd probably like sit down and be like, no, Roman said it.
Roman would keep it going.
Yeah.
Roman gets that liquid courage in him. He's ready to go against anybody. Sexter says, okay, do you remember you may not have been listening, but Roman played this thing, We Fly High, No Lie.
Yeah,
and then remember they had the Orange Bowl version of that song.
Yeah.
We Orange Bowl.
We were so excited when we first heard it for the first time. You would have thought like Eminem just released his first single.
We were very excited about it. And I was like, I think it's been scrubbed. I can't find this song anywhere. Texter says, I remember hearing about the Orange Bowl song in real time, but I never actually heard the song. They played it at that party we went to in Miami like 35 different times.
Yeah.
I loved it every single time. Someone said, I think I have that Orange Bowl song on my PC at home. I'll have to check after work. Please make it public again.
He's like, Siri, pull up Napster.
Texas ESPN randomly posted today on their Instagram a highlight of the Bellarmine-Louisville game from 2022. Who was responsible for a Kenny Payne era highlight being put out with no context that it was an old highlight, triggering people's KPTSD for no literal reason when we're all still trying to find our way to get over the random stabbing at the hands of a 7-year-old? Yeah.
That really is, like we said earlier, everything that happened in those 2 years, it's a fog. Like, it's literally a fog.
We repressed it.
Yeah. Like,
A coping mechanism.
it's Band of Brothers, except it's the 2022-2023 U of L basketball teams.
Texter says, speaking of bangers not U of L related, but Rep DeVille by Our Prophet has been incredibly underplayed over the years. I don't know if I'm familiar.
Yeah.
You know that one.
Do I?
Yeah, we've played that one once.
Have we? Okay. Hopefully it's a you know it if you heard it type deal. Texas, the reason we didn't get much from Khalifa is because he's a third-string center at best. Get Pryor back and let's beat UK. Let's get the beat UK chant going. Okay, so that's a good question. There's a Roman. I don't know if you're familiar with this. There's a trend that Louisville fans have done for years, up until recently, where in the last home game before playing UK, typically it's a bye game. Typically it's somebody that we're able to beat down pretty good. And when you get to the final minutes, the home crowd all starts chanting "Beat UK." Now, we haven't done it in recent years because in the Kenny Payne, well, first of all, we were like losing to Appalachian State in the Kenny Payne era before we played UK. But even if we were winning, nobody thought we were going to beat UK. Do we think we get the Beat UK cheers going tonight?
Well,
There'll be some.
Yeah, now that you brought it up, yes.
I think 100% it's going to happen.
I'm not calling him out because this could 100% be untrue and just the worst memory ever. But I swear there was one year where like Sean Moth got in on it, like
Probably.
from the mic.
Sean Moth one time after a game said "Happy to Paul Day"
Yeah.
at the Yum Center, and I was like, "All right, it's gone too far. I don't want people knowing about this now. It's too mainstream."
Yeah. Like I said, if it's untrue, I'm sorry, Sean. Sean's the man. But
Sean's just beating the scores table and like screaming "Beat UK" into the mic.
Hasn't worked out too well for us, I guess, yet. But yeah, I could definitely see us starting the chant.
I think it could happen, no question. I think hopefully this will be a game where it's out of hand. Now it's not as late as the 9:00 tip-off on Monday, so maybe you have a few more people hanging around till the end than you did on Monday night. Whoever is hanging, those are the diehards. Yeah. I think they'll get into it. I think you'll hear it audibly on the broadcast. Kent Taylor, get into it tonight. KT, if you're listening, don't screw around. Get into the cheer. You want to.
I think Khalifa's a good backup center.
I think Khalifa's fine. I think we've quickly just forgotten how good he looked in the first minutes of that Kansas game.
I was going to say, I got a little too excited when we did our, what's the starting five going to look like at the end of the year? I put Khalifa. I was like, I think I could see Khalifa at the end of the year. And then, I don't know. and I don't want to be a game-to-game guy.
It's early.
Yeah, I think he's kind of a hot hand guy. I think you ride him if he's playing well.
I think he'll have games where he doesn't even get open.
Right. I think there'll be games where it's like, did he play 2 or 3 minutes tonight or what? So, yeah, we'll have to see. But I'm gonna like temper my Khalifa starting at the end of the year expectations that I had, after the Kansas game.
Shawmoff texted. He confirms he did not lead.
I'm so sorry.
He did say though one time after the Michigan game that he thanked the fans for quote bringing all the smoke.
Okay.
After they had that player with the quote,
I mean,
like we want the smoke.
Sean got loose on the mic a couple times, so maybe that's why I thought of it. But
I love just like you imagine he's like ripping his shirt off. He's got like an FUK shirt on underneath. He's like waving the towel around his head.
Yeah, that's great.
Texas, did you see where Donovan Mitchell dedicated his dominant performance last night to the kid who was talking trash to him on 2K yesterday?
I saw
Hilarious. I didn't see this at all.
Yeah.
Roman, did you see
I
this?
did not see this either.
That's incredible.
Yeah, he went full Jordan mode, and that offended me personally, basically. So, yeah, shout out Don. Dude, Don is huge up in Cleveland and in the Columbus area. Like, there's Don jerseys everywhere. So I'm trying to get my son to hop on the Don bandwagon up there, but he keeps wanting a Jason Tatum jersey. I'm like, he's out for the year.
No.
I know.
Damn.
Yeah, I know.
He doesn't want that.
Yeah.
Was it Cardell Jones who played the kid in the hospital in the college football video game?
And tried really hard.
And the kid posted, he's like, he beat me 91 to 30.
Yeah.
And Cardell corrected. He's like, it was actually 98 to 35. I scored after this. It's incredible.
Yeah, I know, that is good.
Texter says, someone said first-time texter, I think it's for Scoots. Scoots, are we going to agree that Savannah should have gotten voted out instead of Nate in Survivor last night? I love someone texting in during our show to Scoots about Survivor. First-time text, you don't get Cowboy. You don't get the Cowboy.
Don't get it.
We do have a couple first-time texters, and we'll use the Cowboy here. Text, I'm setting the line at 2 profanities from Dan, and I advise the over. That was from 320. You've not cussed one time.
Oh, yeah, no. I mean, I can – my wife doesn't cuss, so I usually go around the house all day not cussing. But something about getting on that pod really brings out the worst in me.
Texas, holy bleep. The studio sound makes Dan sound like he's actually employed.
God. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah. So, like, my dad, when I was growing up, I always, like, talk. I kind of have, like, that Eeyore voice, like, talk kind of slow. Thanks for noticing me. And I just always have, like, I don't know. It's just always have been my voice. And my dad used to just hate it. Like, he, like, thought I was doing it to be cool. He's like, stop trying to sound cool. I'm like, this is my voice. Like, I don't know what else to do.
You're very much Butters from South Park.
Yeah.
They're like, why are you making that face in your class picture? He's like, this is how I look.
That's literally what it was. I was like, I'm sorry.
Texas, what am I hearing? A CC plus Mike Rutherford show crossover. This isn't the first time that we've done this. You've co-hosted the show. It's just been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. Maybe the YouTube TV, that's a bad because they're down. But whatever's here on YouTube, maybe that's opening some eyes.
Texas, Pat Kelsey's lover here. What's up, PKL? First time seeing you on YouTube. You are not what I pictured you would actually look like. Again, it never works that way. Texas, hey, Mike, with Jeff on his way to Happy Valley, any chance the big dog will be the interim the rest of the season? Do we want to kick the tires on Satterfield since he's finally winning at Cincy? I'll hang up and listen. What if this what all was about the big dog?
That's my type of humor. Those are the texts I like. That's great.
Hey, you'll like this too. Very next text. I'm still pissed at how dumb the CFP rankings are. The sport is even more shamelessly gatekeeping than when we had the BCS. This is the opposite of the promise. I hate it here.
I agree.
Can I tell you something?
Of course.
I'd rather have the BCS back.
No!
Abelson says.
No!
I can't trust anything these empty suits are.
We would have no chance at playing in the BCS right now.
These guys are out here saying they watch every game. And they look like.
Of course it's if we win the ACC, though, we always get a chance to play for a national title.
So let me clarify. A BCS mixed with some sort of automatic bid for conference champions.
So like a 12-team BCS playoff.
Cat got your tongue?
We got a tweet here, fellas, from Frank Anselm eBay.
What's Frank saying?
It's just an image of Batman standing on the post with the bat symbol in the air, except the symbol is a 7.
Oh,
okay.
Frank wouldn't lie to us.
Yeah, Frank gave it away.
Kaysen would play with our emotions. Frank never plays with anybody's emotions. Frank,
probably not allowed.
I could see
anymore.
Kaysen be in the locker room like, hey, Frank, I'm actually just supposed to be the one to do this, all right? But like, you just gave away the whole thing.
He like tweets the exact same thing 5 minutes from now.
Yeah.
What the hell? By the way, Frank, he's confirmed he can't come on the show. We're still going to try to get him, but he couldn't when he was working on becoming a coach. It was frowned upon at that time. I think we'll get him maybe when the season goes on. Frank, we love you. If you're listening,
Frank is the man.
Frank is the man. Texter says, first time texter, Cowboy. Also from Texas, Cowboy. We play the Cowboy Kid Rock song when we have the first time.
Okay,
Cowboy. Nice. It takes Roman 6 minutes to cue it up, so we're talking about something else whenever he does it, but we still do it. He says, I feel like Cal. Now I'm just waiting for you to do it. I feel like Cal's the worst team remaining on the schedule. Of course, I would prefer to have Duke in there and Kewan, but it would be very interesting to see if we have an incredibly limited running back depth. And Miller is forced to there it is. Miller is forced to step up, back against the wall and make or break game. I'm sick of wondering whether this guy can do it for us. Miller versus Saga.
Do you think Jeff's going to start out the game making Miller trying to do it? Be like, hey, we can afford this game to see if we can let kind of Miller get loose here and take some shots and then maybe go into like the running game if like it doesn't work out? Or like, can we not even afford to even try that?
I mean, I feel like I have to say it. Like, how much more evidence do we need at this point?
No, I know.
The season is 2/3. We've seen this guy play for 8 games and then a whole last season at USC.
Coming from the guy that in the first half yesterday, I was like, if I see another series, we got to bench this guy. So
I think we're aware of his limitations at this point, and you just kind of have to work. Like, he can make certain throws, but there are things that he can't do that we were hoping he was going to be able to this year. And I'm not expecting him to magically start doing those things now that we're in November. You know?
Yeah.
He is what he is.
But still, I mean, we saw it at USC.
I think the single funniest way that this season could end is if we dink and dunk our way to 4 straight wins where Miller's throwing for like 150 yards and then we make the playoff and we host, like Georgia, and he goes out there and tosses for like 550 and 6. We're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, that would be the funniest way for this, and also the coolest for the season to go.
No, I mean,
usually you're the crazy hypothetical guy, but I enjoy that.
No, it's the thing is, it is a crazy hypothetical, but like I said, we've physically seen him drop dimes for an entire game one time. So like, we know it's in there, but again, it was a couple of years ago. It was a different system. But like I said, I just think if we have aspirations for big things, like Jeff's going to have to at least just like, we got to see, and this is the team you want to see it against.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, do we think this is the easiest game we have left? Do we think, I on paper, I think that Kentucky's probably better.
Yeah, but there's been weird things that happen in that game.
That's why I would put Kentucky ahead of this.
Yes, exactly. So, but
And
the other two, I mean, the Clemson game is downright terrifying.
I mean, so is SMU.
Yeah, no, both of them.
All 4 of these games are. I'm terrified for Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as we get down 7-0, all bets are off, and I'm panicking online.
Texture says, I can't read that one. Texture says, I'm glad Jalen Lowe will be back for the U of L game. Thinking about his concrete feet trying to stay in front of Michael makes my mouth water. I just don't want the excuses from that. I know that they'll use Jaden Quains if they get beat.
I just read a Jaden Quaint's tweet.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to make fun or anything.
Sounds like you're about to make fun.
Yeah.
Big time update on Jaden Quaintance. He's been cleared for 5-on-0 full court work for Kentucky. Does that mean he's like setting air screens out there?
I guess when they go through like press break work. I have no idea. Very strange. Texture says, digits are open for this trio. Oh, this is Red Rocks guy. If we ever need help for you 3, happy to help it. No, Red Rocks guy he's shot down texters that have needed. He's like, I won't help out texters, but if the Rutherford show hosts need help, I'll help you guys out. Texture says, Kyle Farmer, LOL.
Kyle Farmer, nice.
Texture says, I'm kindly asking Roman if his Atherton guys can have a little bit of mercy tonight against North Bullitt. We suck. Please don't beat us by 150. Does Atherton start the playoffs tonight, I guess?
Is this high school football on a Thursday?
Yeah, I think some of the games have gotten moved up.
Too.
St. X is tonight. I know they're on the air. I think a bunch of schools have just dropped out because this is the first week, and everybody makes the playoffs. So you have the biggest mismatches ever. It's running clock Friday. Some of these teams have been like, we've got 12 dudes. We're not going to play this game. Atherton, I saw they have the best defense in the state, Roman. They've had shutouts in 7 of their 10 games.
That's crazy.
Which is crazy. And still just the one loss, and it was to Manual.
So. You know who stinks?
Who?
all 3 of the Dublin, Ohio high school football teams. They're terrible.
Well, you kind of said that football's not really the big thing in Dublin.
No, it actually is, but
Oh yeah, Brady Quinn played it.
yeah,
Jerome, right?
Brady Quinn played at Kaufman.
Okay.
So Chris Quinn, Miami Heat Chris Quinn, also played at Kaufman. I just found out. But anyways, I'm just dropping Dublin knowledge.
Texas says, "What are your thoughts on the GTA delay?" No idea.
Chris Quinn, that was
Chris Quinn.
barely remember that.
Notre
Baller
Dame
back
Chris
in the day.
Quinn.
Yeah. Texas, remember how Trevor ate a salad live in the studio? We should have Dan try to hit a double or run a 40-yard dash live on the show.
I mean, I can hit a double. I roll out of bed, I hit doubles.
You don't hit. We had literally your nickname on Twitter is Dan Zone because you had a Dan Zone where you hit little bloop singles over the shortstop all the time.
But guess what? Sometimes I got stretched into doubles. But that's besides the point.
Dan also has a dream to open up a sports bar called Dan Zone.
It's true.
I think it could happen.
So I want to open up. It's like a sports bar, and like I want it flashed on like the front page of the local paper with me with like a chef towel over my shoulder, like with 1 foot up on a bar stool. That's 100% my dream, but I guarantee it would close in less than 6 months, probably for inspection purposes.
I didn't even hear you say this, but apparently you mentioned you gave the wrong sponsor for the text line. Let the record show the text line is the Gameday Men's Health text line.
Me.
Yeah.
I gave a sponsor.
You said
It was
a different company
Oh.
that no longer
Gotcha.
a local gas station that absolutely
that's-
does not have 8,000
Yes,
locations
of
anymore.
course. The Game Day text line.
The Gameday Men's Health text
yes,
line.
Game Day Men's Health.
Texture says, Danny just called it the Blake text line. Tell me you don't have boner issues without telling me you don't have boner issues.
Is it 5:30 yet?
3 minutes away. We got 3 minutes to go. Texas, if you saw the Calzada leak text that came out in the offseason, you'd know that that's exactly how he'd sound. I must have missed him. Texas, my only question with the Arkansas game will be, can we not allow them to manhandle us on the glass? I knew that was Stallworth right before. Again, he's always talking real ball. I don't know. We'll talk about it next month, Mike. I promise. Texas, I 100% would choose floor seats at the Arkansas game to heckle the hell out of Kenny the entire time. Also, who do we want to lose this weekend in football to help us out? We'll talk about that tomorrow. Texas says we can afford no game right now. And also, Dan, you should already know and hate Lowe. We already have history with them.
Yeah, no, I never said I didn't know who Lowe was. Yeah, I mean, last year Pitt, I saw him go to the foul line 100 times when we played at Pitt, but that was one of the more fun wins of the year when we beat them up at their place.
Oh, yeah.
Rain went absolutely bananas.
Because at that time, Pitt was right outside the top 25. We thought they were for real. Now they do the Jeff Capel thing that they always do.
I miss Rain so much.
I
Oh my
do too.
God, he was the best.
Texas, Keywan's going to run for 100+ and 2 TDs versus Cal on Saturday. Bet the bank on it. That's also someone's first text in a year. Texas, Pryor back tonight. Oh, yeah. Ready for some absolutely flawless screen action.
That's good. That's good humor.
Texas says, how the bleep can the SEC be as anointed as the committee likes to make them if half the conference is firing their coaches into the sun? Not a bad bad point.
Great point. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, let's make some predictions for tonight. We have a couple minutes here. First, on the gridiron, college football, Georgia Southern at App State. 2 1-3 Sun Belt teams. App State's a 5.5-point favorite. Roman Kelly, who wins, who covers?
I think App State will win.
I think App State wins and covers. I'm actually going to bet this. I've seen enough to feel confident about it. They don't get blown out in Boone, North Carolina, folks. Dan, who do you like?
Yeah, App State.
Yeah.
I have nothing to back it up.
Love that.
We're going App State.
7:30 ESPN. UTSA Roadrunners taking on South Florida. The Bulls 13.5-point home favorites. Roman, who you got?
Give me the Bulls.
I got South Florida winning and covering. I have nothing to back that up either. Dan, who you
Give
got?
me the Fighting Will Steins.
All right. I still think of Will Stein every time they come up.
Yeah.
Raiders, Broncos, Thursday night NFL football, 8:15 Prime Video. Broncos 9.5-point home favorites. Dan, who you got?
Would you start Bo Nix or Jared Goff against the Commanders? Bo Nix tonight against Raiders, at Commanders.
I'm starting
Jared
Bo Nix in my only fantasy league.
Goff. Okay, yeah. So with that being said, let's go with Broncos cover. Although Brock Bowers looked great last week.
Roman, who you got?
Prime time, Thursday night. Broncos win, but they don't cover.
I got Broncos winning and not covering. All right, tonight we're nearing tip-off. Give me a score prediction. Who leads us in scoring? By the way, I've nailed every leading score we've had, exhibition games and 2 games. I'm trying to go 5 for 5. Roman, you go first. Score. Who leads us in scoring?
Leader in scoring tonight is going to be Javon Hadley.
Ooh, I like that.
I think that we're going to spread the wealth, though. It's not like he's going to have, he'll lead the scoring with 16 or 18 points, I think. And score prediction, I'm going to go, I think we get over the 100-point mark, Mike. I'm going to say 109 to 62.
Oh, wait, I made a false claim. I did not call Kanai Roots last week. I said Isaac B. Neely. I forgot he didn't lead in scoring. Dan, real quick, score.
I will go. We win. I'll say 89 to 59, and I will say leading score just because they're gonna have McNeely Scott. I'll say Conwell.
108-62. I'm going with Roman. Javon Hadley leads his team in scoring tonight, and we get some beat UK cheers. Let's get it done tonight. We're back tomorrow at 2:30.
Appreciate
Join
it,
us
fellas.
then. Go Cards!
United Mechanical.
Beat
John Burke,
Jackson
United
State.
Mechanical
Go Cards,
is your
baby.
trusted
Go
partner for
Cards.
commercial and industrial